If you're tired of being censored on social media, join 60s.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated, and we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 60s.net. Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 60s.net. Ah.
Tick faster, that'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again. Get out of there. To the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx official. There we go. All right. Let me see who we got in here. Let me get on in here. All right. I had to hop out and hop back in, unfortunately, but hopefully things are running much smoother. So hopefully the sound is cool. Let me see. Alrighty. So let's see who we have in the chat. All right. We have Judah Queen in the house. Smart, B1 Brigade in the house, as always. One Who Cares. Brandon Cruz Sings. Silent D Productions. Desmond Works. Mont. Viewer One. Rayvon Johnson. Yes, indeed. Sugar Jones. Hey, how you doing? All righty. Okay. So as y'all are coming in, please hit the like button, hit the share. And if you have not already subscribed to this broadcast, please hit the notification bell so you can be notified anytime this broadcast goes live or uploads a video. Once again, this is the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. All right. Oyela Aket, welcome. I hate. So, let me see where I want to go first. Because since I had to refer, of course, as you load up all the videos and it's like, and then the sound starts cracking up. So I was like, let me try this again. So, here's a story I don't know if y'all really heard that know that this particular thing has happened. The Judas Shuffle. Actually, you know what? Before I go any further, let me do this. This is what I gotta do. And no, this one ain't the Judas Shuffle. This one, and for those who were here on my last broadcast, I had to do a little bit of roasting, and hopefully I won't have to go back down that road again. Again, I wish everybody well in whatever they want to do. It just does not have to involve me. With that being said, there's always a request every now and then. So without further ado, here's one. Man, I ain't got it. Ooh-wee. So, back to business as usual. How we do here, we report the news, we give our commentary on it, and then of course we also, we break down other things as well. And of course, this is a B1 Black First Space, um, primarily uh, foundational Black Americans, but also concerning the diaspora as a whole. Um, and I put something on my Instagram because I know for some people who do know, uh, I do have relatives in my mother's side that go back to Jamaica. So I have Haitians in my family. I have Islanders in my family. So it's not like we're hating on anybody from the islands. But for the most part, I come from the everyone else is from chattel slavery and such. L Middleton, welcome, welcome. So again, it's been an interesting week. From last week to this week, we've been dealing with all of these spaces, which is pretty interesting. So with the conversation that's getting started, I I look at it this way: melanin has been the center of attention for like a week strong. Whether it's how somebody may feel about another group, and this group feels that way about another group. One thing is for certain: Black folks have made themselves the most important talking point, whether you be a foundational Black American or non-foundational Black American. Uh, even ADOS, for the people who are about the lineage. I'm not down with an organization or of any group or like that. So when I say foundational Black American, I just mean lineage. Uh, for all intents and purposes, for people who know how I personally identify, it's I don't even use the word Black, but for identification purposes, for the general public's sake, we say Black. So if anybody, hey man, that Black is just a way. Yeah, we know that. But we use it for the layman's term. You did. So with that being said, I gotta play y'all this first because I'm pretty sure most of y'all didn't even see this yet. I catch stuff on a fluke all the time, and by the way, family, again, hit the like button, share this on your social media. It's a small platform, but we still get shadow banned here in this little corner of the world called the New Black Media. I am one of the smaller content creators of the New Black Media. Nonetheless, small and numbers do not necessarily mean that's a lessened impact. You dig? So check this out, family, because I'm sure y'all did not see this commercial.
As life moves forward, we realize that excitement isn't just for the young, that old dogs can learn new tricks, and that it's okay if life gets a little easier. We understand that life may look a little different, yet we believe friendships and memories are still to be made. So to those who say the best days are in the past, we beg to differ. As seasons change, we'll be here.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I don't know who did that. I don't know who did that. But that is freaking hilarious. Oh my Lord. Oh man. Oh man. So it's like, what is this? gonna play that one more time, then we gonna get into the news.
As life moves forward, we realize that excitement isn't just for the young, that old dogs can learn new tricks, and that it's okay if life gets a little easier. We understand that life may look a little different, yet we believe friendships and memories are still to be made. So to those who say the best days are in the past, we beg to differ. As seasons change, we'll be here.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
That is hilarious. He said they stay reaching, don't they? Oh man, oh man, oh man. So family, I told you in New York, y'all got an issue on your hands. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But first, we just give you a little taste of what's going on out there.
To come together and deal with this fight. We are on the same page. There is a reason they call me the Biden of Brooklyn.
The Biden of Brooklyn. That's what he wants to call. They call him that, huh? That's some top cop talk. I'm just saying. So check this story out. This is the story I'm going to get to real quick, and then we'll move on. But I'm sure y'all ain't heard this. So, this cat was liking to play with explosives. I guess, let's just see how it turned out for him this time. Go ahead, get on there.
New details now about the man who died after he apparently blew himself up with a homemade bomb near a school in Antioch. It turns out he is no stranger to explosives. Our crime reporter Henry Lee is here now with more on what we're learning about his past. Henry?
Alex, almost a decade ago, Frank Trout was tinkering with a pipe bomb in his home and it went off. He went to the hospital. This time, he wasn't so lucky. Cell phone video shows police using an explosive charge to breach the front door of Frank Trout's home in Antioch. The 4 shattered windows of his home near West 15th and G Streets. Hours earlier Monday, the 62-year-old Trout apparently blew himself up just blocks away at a nearby school. It's unclear if it was by accident or on purpose. Antioch police were back at the home on Tuesday. They blocked off streets in the neighborhood for a second day in a row. The man's property was still in shambles. The front door still on the lawn. The home was in such disarray that city officials red-tagged it. Trout lived by himself. His brother told me off camera that he was not a threat to anyone. Neighbors seem to agree.
He's never threatened anybody. He just keeps to himself the entire time.
Antioch police say Trout is no stranger to explosives. This is Trout's mugshot in 2012 after he was burned while making pipe bombs inside the same house.
I was here when the cops were around.
Neighbor Giovanni Mendoza says he was a teenager during the first incident.
I do remember that, pretty vividly. I think I was in high school when that happened. It was like the same situation. There was a lot of cops last time.
It's crazy.
In Spanish, neighbor Patricia Botello says police knew about Trout for years and questioned why he was able to continue making explosives with children and schools nearby.
And he shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. It's kind of weird to me that he would be doing all that. But it's crazy.
Now, after the first bomb incident, Frank Trout was convicted of possessing a destructive device. He served 2 months in jail and got probation. Live in the newsroom, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Okay, Henry, thank you for the update.
Good grief. So I guess y'all ain't heard that one. Now, see, here's another thing. See, they got this whole thing going on with, if y'all watched Queen Abdullah Shakur's broadcast about the professor who had the 800-page manifesto about, hey, this is what we need to do and this is what okay. Remember my video, the Rittenhouse effect. M. Soul, welcome. Queen Adia, hey. And also remember the person last Christmas, was it Christmas 2021, that blew themselves up? Where is that? Louisville? Was that downtown Louisville or something like that? Uh, Supposedly by the Dominion voting office or whatever. And so, that story kind of just went away. This dude blew himself up on Christmas. So here's this guy, he ended up blowing himself up. And I always think back to that Rittenhouse Effect video about the Roman, just named the guy, the Denver mass shooter. And this guy is a big inspiration for those January 6 types. Can't help but notice the connections. Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you. B-Mick in the house. Yeah, man, that was crazy. Hey, Louise, greetings. That was crazy. So, this is something that they're kind of downplaying. It doesn't really sound like they're making a big deal out of it because, of course, you could write it off as a lone wolf. But to me, it seems like something that should be drawing concern, considering how we're having this uptick. Now, if y'all notice, they're talking about crime. Yet and still, all of these mass shooters are white. But gun violence. Family, the Biden sexuals are mighty quiet right now because as of today, a new crime bill has been signed into law for New York. And what you don't understand about how things work in law is New York is a federal state. So meaning if you can get people punished under that law, you now have a good precedent in case law that you can now push forward and push an agenda all the way down to county law. Y'all not watching what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. Y'all need to pay attention to what's happening in New York because this Eric Adams dude ain't cool. And then he got this Keishant Sewell as the police commissioner. So they're all set, ready to go because they got black faces pushing a absolute suspected white supremacist agenda. It's damn sure a pro-police agenda. Now, the people who literally were talking about defund the police and Black Lives Matter literally funded Joe Biden to get into the White House. So it's deeper than votes. No, black folks paid for it. So while think of it like this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris stepped over the bodies of all of these dead black people to waltz their ass right on into the White House. And then say, we're going to do something for everybody else. No, you got them there, black folks. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I got your back. Well, we're going to lift every voice as a national hymn. You couldn't get the George Floyd Policing Act done. Well, of course not. Because he was going to turn right around and give the police more money anyway. So you knew that was going to die. Although he is presenting it. This is how much of a snake this man is. And y'all worrying about what the hell Trump can say? Look at what this man can do. There's no comparison. See, what I've told you is a danger, is a smart white supremacist, because he's smart enough to con you into believing he's not. He's groomed by the system of white supremacy and absolute degradation of black folks. He's raised on it. And you voted in the oldest white man you could find to say, lead me. He gonna do something for us. He didn't want to do nothing for you then when he was young. Why would he want to do something for you now? Is that the spirit of Strom Thurmond? No. George Wallace? No. But you guys still go straight ahead. Well, let's just see what kind of people you guys put in place. Here's this woman who is an actual lawyer, has went through the trouble to practice law. But guess what she still experiences? Absolute racism. And from who? Oh, a judge, nonetheless. Imagine that. A racist judge. I guess there's a case that I could think that happened a couple months back to where somebody would probably interpret the victims of this. Well, no, you can't even call them victims because they may have been looters or arsonists. So let's call them criminals concerning to this judge. And let this little criminal, sadistic 17-year-old bastard walk right on out of his courtroom knowing he murdered 2 people because they were Negro lovers. We just gonna keep it a buck. So check this out. Here's even more reason that we need critical race history, the critical analytical history of America, looking at America with a truthful eye, not rose-colored glasses, to show you all of these Karens and show you where these Karens and all of these little children turned up at. You know all those lynching pictures? Maybe this one might be one of them little kids that was at the little lynching. What y'all think when we see this?
I don't take any great comfort in having to say this out loud, but the truth is what the truth is.
And Detroit-based attorney Lillian Diallo felt compelled to come forward with it, since she says in nearly 3 decades, she has never seen race-based behavior by a judge like this, referring to West Michigan Judge Karen Medema.
You might as well have called me the N-word. What she was doing up there.
Diallo, who battled breast cancer, says she was sick from the ongoing medication treatment. On January 6th, Diallo claimed she told the court clerk about her condition and asked to handle her client's sentencing over Zoom instead of driving 3 hours to Ottawa County Circuit Court. She only asked because she saw the virtual hearing option clearly on the court's website, but was told the judge required she be in the courtroom.
I asked her clerk. I said, well, can I zoom in? No, we don't do that out here. I'm like, oh, but I was reading. I'm like, okay, fine. So I went in there because you ultimately don't want to put your client in a worse position.
But Diallo fears that's exactly what happened. She confronted the judge after she looked over and saw another lawyer appearing virtually in the courtroom, what Diallo was told she could not do, later learning he too had a pre-existing condition.
The lawyer was on the screen, allowed to zoom in for the same kind of proceeding, a sentencing, right? He's white, and I'm not.
We reached out to Judge Karen Medema for her side of the story. Court Administrator Susan Franklin responded. In part, she says the 20th Circuit Court strongly denies that racism was a factor in any decisions related to this case or others. The Circuit Court was not informed prior to the hearings that Ms. Diallo was suffering complications of cancer, as court staff was only advised that she was in treatment without further detail. Ultimately, Diallo claims her client paid the price. The judge decided not to give the young first-time offender the plea deal that allows him to complete his sentence and have his crimes wiped from his record.
She does not give him a deferred sentence, even though he's eligible, and her own probation department recommended it. Right? First time, not even a parking ticket.
Diallo, who ended up getting COVID a couple of days later, has now retained a lawyer of her own. She is in the process of filing a grievance against the judge with the Judicial Tenure Commission for violating the American Disabilities Act and failing to be fair and impartial.
And I'm not making any excuses, but I'm saying you have to give us parity.
I'm Taryn Asher, Fox 2 News.
Wait, what y'all got to think? What y'all think about that, family? And in the meantime, we have our actual elected officials just pushing voting and chicken and catfish nuggets. You understand what I'm saying? This is a whole lawyer who is presently being treated for cancer. First off, they're trying to say they didn't know about complications in her treatment, but they were aware that she was being treated for cancer. And you made this woman drive 3 hours. And then say it's not racially motivated. But however, the opposite side of her court proceeding is on Zoom. Oh, it ain't about race. And we don't want our children to understand the nature of that type of person. Well, this is why we need to be educating our children. I know I did. My children were raised to understand. And first off, raised to understand personalities. So it's a content of character thing. Again, for me, I could never, ever get to your skin color. Your antics supersede any visual that you can talk about. Anytime you show up in our spaces and speak, it's a lie. That doesn't make me look at your color. That just makes me see your spirit. If your spirit shows Satan, that ain't my fault. It just happens to be wrapped in white skin. That's a you problem. That ain't a me problem. You come into an argument or come into a space in bad faith just to debate and be disruptive. Yeah, that's a you problem. Now, me seeing you for what you are, I'm just saying, oh, okay, well, I can see the devil in you. Just because you happen to have white skin doesn't mean that you are a white devil. No, it just means that you are a devil from the inside out, i.e., the content of your character. Hope I cleared that up. Anyway, next. Let's see, where we gonna go? See, and in the meantime, we're looked at in certain light. You know what I'm saying? We're always looked at and assumed to be criminal or assumed to be guilt. Our guilt is assumed. And something that I'm amazed at that's taking place right now, and I guess it's the irony of it, is this self-defense and stand your ground thing. Me being a person who they made sure it absolutely would not apply to. Because a person like myself, they absolutely don't want getting off scot-free for having to defend myself from a person who is literally on another recorded proceeding, identified as a white supremacist on tape. So, I mean, this is something that if you're in a court and this person admits to attacking, they won't even say, oh, you're even a victim. No, the fact that you didn't allow yourself to become a victim makes you the aggressor. SMCM, Queen Meadow Nuape. Welcome. So yeah, B. Mick, yes indeed. Michigan got some of the hardest stomp down racists in the union. Here's another thing, speaking of union and Joe Biden. So you might get a lot of people out here that'll say Joe Biden did something today too because he signed in this workers thing. Man, that's a union thing. How many black folks you know? Matter of fact, is there any union president that's a black? I mean, you more liable to have a head coach of a hockey team before you'll see a black union head like the Steelworkers Union. You know what I'm saying? The Teamsters. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen a black, I'm sure they probably have to swap out at some time, but the Longshoremen's Union, they probably do have to swap out now for law's sake, but you best believe anybody who's already in there is well in it. So they put a apprentice up here to come talk. I'm part of this program, and that's cool. But anybody that's in that field knows that that's not still a win, Joe. We need to see a journeyman or a person that is really reputable within a union speaking, not somebody who was fortunate enough to get in on the bottom floor. So who the hell would ever go into somewhere and say, we're so great, we're so great, we're so great. Matter of fact, I'm going to have the janitor tell you. I mean, the slaps in the face from this guy just don't quit. Only black person we got in the building is the janitor. Well, shoot, bring him up. That'll work. He's black. They don't care. She's black. That's all that matters. So she gets up there and reads this little thing. For all we know, she probably just started the apprentice program yesterday. Like, are you even getting paid? You got journeyman plumbers and steel workers and all of that out of construction workers out here. And you couldn't find one. But see, here's the pander. Because if y'all haven't also noticed what the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, and the King Center have been on this gender divide, subtle but not so subtle, slick campaign by promoting black women as it's Black History Month, which again, that's a gender divide thing because it's all about black women. Every time I remember, I told y'all, black is black, and this is Black History Month. Since when has Black History Month ever had a gender tied to it? There's not an age tied to it. Meaning, we should see our children, we should see our elderly, we should see our ancestors, and all the different culturalistic things that go on with that. All they're doing is promoting a bunch of contemporary bullshit. Like, this is who a great communicator is, and every last one of them are sorors. Links, they're all in the mix. There is no grassroots, nothing in the mix. Now, I'm not totally dogging out being part of a sorority or being part of a fraternity, but let's keep it 1,000. There will always be the allegiance to that thing first, no matter what. So, I mean, with that being said, if they say, hey, you got to come over here and ride for this, like a lot of them do. I mean, and I know these words, they come down from the top. So that's how you start hearing. And I see it every election cycle. I watch it happen every election cycle. Ain't none of these people ever gave a damn about politics for 3 years. And then 6 to 4 month time span, everything is about getting the Democrats elected. I wish these Democrats was doing something for black folks for these last few years that you've been silent. Why is it so important for you now? And it's because the people that are the presidents and whatnot, they get their words from the boule top, because I mean the boule is the granddaddy the first black fraternity in the United States. So that's who they all answer to. So let's keep it a buck. If you are a part of a fraternity, then your ass is boule. And I mean, I have yes, but you are still tied to that. Let's not front. So, I know what it is. Like I've told you, my mother was my former stepmother was a major heavyweight Eastern Star in LA. So let's put that in perspective. So in the mind state of understanding why we need to be having CRT. And also one of the things that we talk about, reparations, which of course lift every voice and sing reparations. Not no hymn, not no national, nothing. We are talking tangibles. Reason why we need tangibles is because right now they don't even want us to learn our own history. They're trying to literally cut out our contemporary history. They're already trying to take out books about Michelle Obama. Like, how is that critical race theory? So what they're basically saying, anything that's not white is critical race theory. But here's the thing. Well, everything else is white. So then that got to go too, because they're all racist. Oh, well, no. You can't call them racist. They're just good and let their goodness stand. Well, they're not good people. So here's where we are with it. We no longer need to participate in their educational programs because we see what they're trying to do. How do you think that getting a higher education, you're going to pay for their higher education to do what? Other than get a job in the field that they're going to operate and run. Now, unless you're taking a course on how to be an entrepreneur and start something for yourself, or maximize your own talents, learn how to monetize the talents that you already have. You know, there's different ways, different things you could do, but one thing that they're never going to offer you is a place over them or with them. So only thing that you can do, that's why these people come over here and they have this mind state that we're with these people who are our oppressors. No. Technically, we should be considered a different people. That's the problem. Too many people want to be integrated. No, what we need to be recognized as individual groups. And all these individual groups got a distinct history here. Now, as far as anybody else outside of that, I can't really speak to that. But I can speak to our history here. Now, what about that? Yeah, but we got to deal with this here. See, this is more contemporary and close to us. We're not just going to jump over that. You want us to get to you? We can get to that. But first, we need this bread. And then we need all of this stuff in between that's done with us. And by the way, can you tell me exactly which country over in Africa I would belong to? Anyway, while somebody can probably try to find an answer to that question that will probably never be able to get answered, we'll move on. And here's another reason for critical race theory. Your children may be in school with children like this.
Tonight, we're learning more about all the evidence in the case and how it will be important in civil lawsuits.
6 pages now in a key court documents list. It includes photos inside the school, photos of students' clothing, medical records, text messages, and emails, as well as interviews with students and school staff.
And it's all been turned over to the defense attorneys in the criminal case against the alleged shooter. 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley, charged as an adult with murder, attempted murder, and terrorism. His parents, Jennifer and James Crumbley, also facing involuntary manslaughter charges.
The document is key to civil lawsuits, with the school wanting those cases put on hold. One is in federal court downtown.
7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner is there with how they will be important in all the cases.
These new documents were filed here in federal court by attorney Jeff Feiger. Attorneys for Oxford schools want these civil cases paused. Another lawsuit up in Oakland County was filed by parents who want school officials to be held accountable, including the parents of 15-year-old Keegan Gregory, who missed being shot by seconds and inches.
He suffered an injury so severe that it's invisible, so people won't know. That he could look at all of you in this room right now and wonder when you are going to shoot him.
That was last week, announcing the latest lawsuit. This letter from the Oakland County prosecutor to defense attorney listed 129 gigabytes of materials being turned over. A picture outside a bathroom looking in. Photos of a live round found outside the bathroom. An email to the school dean, Nick Ejak, and school counselor Sean Hopkins were being sued for allegedly making key decisions the day of the shooting, including seeing the drawing made by Ethan Crumbly, discovered by a teacher the morning of the shooting, that depicted, "My life is useless. The thoughts won't stop. Blood everywhere. Ethan was sent back to class. His backpack not checked." Hours later, Keegan Gregory was hiding in a bathroom with Justin Schilling. Schilling was killed. Keegan was able to run off. He's still suffering severe PTSD.
He was in there with a shooter who had just killed, murdered, injured, terrified.
Investigators got phone records for Ethan Crumbly, photos from Justin Schilling's text messages to his family, a group text, a witness statement from Keegan and his texts, and pictures of Ethan Crumbly provided by Keegan Gregory. It's not known if those were in the bathroom. Ben Johnson is the attorney for the Gregorys.
Knowing that Justin sadly was murdered, so these are the last words that he shared with his parents and family. So yeah, I think it's going to be very important to see those and to see what he said.
Keegan Gregory will be a key eyewitness in the criminal cases. He has not returned to school.
We'll do everything that we know how to do to support him.
The judge here has not ruled on a delay. Attorney Ben Johnson expects a similar pause request to be made in his case in Oakland County and says they are rarely granted. Attorneys for the schools did not return our request for a comment. In downtown, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
Wow. So he got the terroristic threat joint. So yeah, he's probably gonna be roasted once again. Michigan, yes, and these people were also fans of the what's that damn Roman McCrae, that's his writer's name. I can't remember his actual real name, Logan something. But nonetheless, y'all check this out. I guess this just happened again. See, they keep trying to make black folks the face of crime. And thanks to Joe Biden and this bastard Eric Adams, they keep trying to make, and also my media, our local media in my own city, insists on trying to make black folks the face of crime. This is a concerted effort. So it's not just, I'm seeing it here. So I know y'all got to be seeing it in y'all cities as well. But looks like these crazy nuts done took an L again, because the Waffle House shooter, it says CNN just while that last video was playing for the Waffle House shooter. For those of y'all don't know, the crazy white man that thought he was going to get off by playing crazy, taking all of his clothes off, run up in the Waffle House and shot up a bunch of black folk. Well, jury returns all guilty verdicts for Waffle House shooter who killed 4 people. He killed 4 black folk. And he's guilty on all counts. So let's see. A jury found Travis Rankin guilty of all 16 counts in the April 2018 shooting at the Waffle House in Antioch, Tennessee that left people dead, according to a live video feed provided by a CNN affiliate. Excuse me. Among the charges were 4 counts of premeditated first-degree murder and 4 degrees of felony murder counts. A sentencing hearing will be held Saturday at 9 a.m. local time. Davidson County Criminal Court Judge Mark Fishburne said after the jury read the verdict, Rankin arrived at the Waffle House in Antioch, southeast of Nashville, on April 22nd. There's that April 20th weekend. So that Hitler birthday weekend, this is a big white supremacist holiday weekend. So when they go, you see something like this, like those blood sacrifices, because remember, these people are definitely Satanists, I know there's a dreadhead wearing Luciferian that can't get that one through his skull, but this is actually what's going on. So, wearing nothing but a green jacket, according to Metro Nashville police. He got out of his pickup wielding an assault rifle and fatally shot 2 people outside the Waffle House. Rankin then went into the diner and then continued firing, killing 2 more people, police said. The shooting ended when customer James Shaw Jr., who had been sitting with a friend at the restaurant counter, wrestled the weapon away from the gunman, who fled on foot. Police launched a manhunt shortly after Rankin fled the restaurant naked. He was taken into custody about 35 hours later when a woman at the construction site in Antioch spotted him in the woods. Oh, man. So they said Rankin was initially held on $2 million bond, but angry calls flooded the district attorneys, the attorney general's, and judges' offices. His bond was later revoked by a Tennessee judge. The 4 people who were killed were all under 30 years old. So, yeah, he's done. So it says the 2 fatally shot outside the restaurant were Waffle House employees, Terrain C. Sunderland, 29, and customer Joe R. Perez, 20. Inside, the gunman killed 2 more, 23-year-old Aquila Da Silva, and a student pursuing a musical engineering career, and 21-year-old D. Ebony Groves, a college senior majoring in social work, who had been out with her sorority sisters that night. So that cat, he's probably done. I don't know what they do in Tennessee. Do they? I don't know. They can still give a death penalty out there in Tennessee, because that's first-degree premeditated murder with four bodies. I think in a state that I think that might get you the gas chamber or get you the needle. I would have to think. I think that might be the one that puts you over the hump. Good grief. Well, Lord. So, like I'm saying, we have a lot to talk about and we have a lot to deal with. One of the things being when we have leadership that's not really leadership. And so we have people that are, and it just dawned on me, like, why don't we have our Congressional Black Caucus really kind of defending critical race theory? Has anybody ever thought about that? Like, why are we not hearing them kind of rail against that? Like, you're worried about giving us a holiday, and now you're worried about making something a national hymn. The only thing that does is now it ensures that these things would be national. However, everybody now has a part in something that was just for us. Why would we be making Lift Every Voice and Sing a national hymn? Seems to me that there's a different agenda with this. There's definitely a different agenda with this. And I'm just looking at it like, okay, well, lift every voice and sing. That's what we woke up with this morning. Not reparations, not justice, not even like healthcare. I mean, we're talking about a song. This is the best that our so-called leaders can do. This is it. Lift every voice and sing. Family, this makes no damn sense. Look at this. Your boy.
Reflecting on this whole notion what Benjamin Franklin reported to have said when he was asked what he and the founding fathers had wrought. He is reported to have replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." Later on, Franklin joined with John Adams and Thomas Jefferson to propose that the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," out of many one, be placed on our currency as the nation's motto. Our nation continues to struggle with the issues of race and equity. The threads of our fragile democracy are fraying, and as the people's representatives, it is incumbent upon us to make every effort to heed Franklin's words of concern and his and Adams and Jefferson's expression of unity. It is our...
First off, here's what's wrong with this. It's Black History Month. You couldn't find black leaders to praise. All he got in his mouth is a bunch of old dead white men. This is that generation, family. They're not looking for our benefit about nothing. Even in death, all they can do is thinking about them old white folks, man. Nothing about our future is even remotely a concern to these people, man. At all.
Responsibility to demonstrate, not only with our words, but by our actions, that we can and will keep this republic intact and its people unified. That is why I introduced H.R. 301 to designate the iconic hymn, "Lift Every Voice and Sing," the national hymn of the United States of America. Enshrining "Lift Every Voice and Sing" as our national hymn will be one such substantive step forward. "Lift Every Voice and Sing" was written by James Rowland Johnson as a poem and set to music by his brother John Rosamond Johnson. The hymn was first performed, as you heard, on February 12, 1900 by a choir of 500 school children from the segregated Stanton School in Jacksonville, Florida. In 1905, Booker T. Washington recognized the hymn, and it became popular throughout the Black community across the United States. In 1919, the NAACP designated "Lift Every Voice and Sing" as its official song, and it was dubbed the Black National Anthem. I and scores of people with whom I have interacted have never been comfortable with that designation. We believe that out of many backgrounds and experiences, there should be but one national anthem. And we believe.
What? There it is again. See, integration. Let's not have anything just black. See, he does not. I hope you are hearing what you're hearing. He doesn't like the idea of having something black. See, what we're talking about is a designation of ourselves. He ain't with it. And he understands reparation works against this group's mentality of total bootlickedness and ass kissing of suspected white supremacists. And most definitely want to make sure that the system of white supremacy systematically goes nowhere. This is Stephen talk from Django, family.
"Lift Every Voice and Sing" is a hymn that is so cherished by so many people of all faiths, creeds, backgrounds, and experiences that designating it as our national hymn would be very fitting and proper. Its wide appeal is no accident. It is currently produced and distributed by approximately 40 religious publishing houses throughout the United States. It is sung by all faiths and persuasions. Recent renditions have proven just how wide its appeal is. From Alicia Keys' performance at the Super Bowl to
Oh, wow. So, something that we can have pride in that's just ours, I guess to him, doesn't hold the same value because everybody else ain't part. Am I hearing something different? See, we are a new generation. We absolutely do not think like these old Negroes. That is one reason why this type of thing has to get out of our way. I mean, because this doesn't make any sense. We need to vote these people out. They got to go. We ain't never going to get nothing done with leadership like so-called leadership like this. And I'm on board with this whole getting rid of the Congressional Black Caucus altogether because at this stage in the game, they ain't for black people at all. And they couldn't be for black folks if they tried at this point. I mean, everything they do is counterproductive to us. It's so crazy. Let me see, where's that? Got that thing in here. Yeah. Is this it? Oh, yeah. There we go. So, there is the mission statement. So, let me go through there. There we go. So, literally, the mission statement of the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, let's listen to him babble.
Beyonce's rendition in 2018, Coachella. The lyrics of Lift Every Voice and Sing are applicable to the experience of nearly every ethnic background in America. They also acknowledge that
no, it's not really, though. What other group shares the experience of the words of that song? This is babble.
challenges of our future. Just consider the words. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
Okay. How does that dark past? Who else has that dark past? I'm confused. Who's dark past? What group? Chattel slavery, bruh. What group are you referring to, man? The group that should be coming up on this right here? That group? The people who should be the recipients of the Dr. Martin Luther King Reparations Act? I can agree with that. There's people who have this, you know, and then there's people who have this. And then there are people who have this. And that's who they like in their company to put in talking spaces for us. And, you know, at this point, we thoroughly rejecting that. Oh, well, you know, she got a black woman. You could have just did a dark skin thing. Yeah, miss me. Because at the end of the day, let's just look at what our Congressional Black Caucus and people have been doing. So check this out. Here's a picture of all the black staffers. They lined up all their Negroes today and said, hey, let's take a picture. This is Black History. So this is all the black staffers plus one Indian American. So that is what you're seeing right there. And then this happened. Oh, man. How did that get up there? Oh, no. It was this that happened. Oh, man. Oh, wait. No. Wrong one. It's this. This is the one I was looking for. So, this is the other thing that also happened. Look at that. While she's over here standing with the, oh man, all the black staffers. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I'm going to have a mask on though with you Negroes. Oh man, we're so cool. Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, yes. Pacific Islanders, you're getting some money today. Yay. Here's another bill. You guys are getting appreciated and a check. Oh, man. And you, lowly Negroes, are getting a song. Woohoo! Don't you see how you win when you vote Democrat? These people get protection laws and bills and money and economic basis and backing. And you, being all the money and financial backing for that particular party, you get a holiday and a song. Woo-wee, I tell you. And then, add insult to injury, we'll go ahead and have people like this coming out here talking about, well, you know, I'm going to come over here from Nigeria and integrate myself into society. I just can't understand why you foundational Black Americans have so much problem with Nigerians. Well, this man is running for mayor. Let's see what he's looking to do. You cannot be in favor of Black History Month for some, but not be in favor of a White History Month for others. Really? Really, my man? Yeah. So we getting stuff like that. We've been getting stuff like this, which is hella disrespectful. I don't know what the hell this man thinking. Oh, here's another one. Check this out. So, in Joe Biden's, his Pander Claus tour today, he went ahead and got some Negroes for a photo op. Look how lined up they are. Like, yeah, we're gonna stand here and we're gonna be the people who are gonna like be for the liaisons. So here's all of your neighborhood snitches that turn because this family. Let me just keep it real. A lot of people in the like these so-called gang intervention spaces or whatnot. A lot. I ain't gonna say a lot, but there are some times where some of the people involved with some of these different organizations that these police like to deal with is because they like to deal with police. So when you see stuff like this, you know, this might be oh yeah, they used to be gang members. I remember back when I was in them streets and this and that and this and that. You remember when you told them people off? I mean, you know, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, hey man, you got a Black mayor in New York and look what you got. Oh man, you voted in Joe Biden, man. Look what you got. You fund the police, we need justice. We're going to get the George Floyd police in there. Nah, police going to get some money though. Defund the police turned into double fund the police. By the same person to whom you were looking to give you some relief from having to hear about how bad other countries are that aren't really contributing to this country other than crowding it. And I'm not saying like immigration has it should have its limitations. I think that's pretty much what everybody was kind of getting at. Because if we're crowding, flooding the gate, These people are getting money to stay in another country and then coming over here getting more money to live in this country while everyone here is in a doggone crisis. That ain't cool. And anybody that would want to put that type of burden on someone, eventually the back of this camel gonna break, which is pretty much prophecy. But I guess you guys don't really know. I don't know what y'all expecting, but eventually we get stuff like also. Where's this other? Let's look at this. Anybody remember this? This is a tweet from last year. All of that talking, oh man, I used to rock with Ice Cube, man. Shoot, man, he's stupid for going to have a meeting with Trump. The black Biden voter really should be feeling crazy right now. Number one, today you have your Congressional Black Congress or caucus leader, whip, the whip of the caucus, or the whip of the Congress, Jim Clyburn, proposing a song. A song. Then I see Representative Beatty. These people are finding a way to make, and don't get me wrong, cancer and all of this is cool. But in the midst of all of this, we just started off with the sister who has cancer. So clear, and she's a black woman. So in Black History Month, her having cancer, she's in this story right now. So we rolling up into this whole situation. She had issues. But Joyce Beatty is over there proud to they're having cancer meetings for Black History Month. They are literally doing everything irrelevant to black issues as possible right now. And to me, I'm like, well, at what point is enough enough? And when do they start getting the message that nobody's dealing with it? And truth be told, their numbers are dwindling. We see the Biden's approval ratings tanking. We even see the system that they have with their crap hit pieces against people, our icons like Bill Cosby. No one's calling him perfect. But here's one thing about America, and here's even a more important thing about white supremacy and the system of its control. They will pull out all the stops to get the person they want. So will they find 60 women to come lie on this man? Hell yes. That's how evil these people are. Why the hell else do you think that they don't want history told here? Because this is who they are. They've never stopped being this. It's just morphs into something else. Klansmen go get badges and go become police officers. Others, when get old, they go become lawyers and become judges. Others become politicians. Others become doctors and make sure that black folks subsequently die on the operating table. When I made a point on Twitter about we need black hospitals and black operated hospitals, all of a sudden white folks came out the woodwork. Hey, it's racist. What concern is this of you? Knowing something that we don't know? Because you sure seem awfully worried about us taking our bodies out of white hospitals. Just the idea of it raised his antenna. Something to think about. I'm just saying, something to think about. So, let's hear a little more of this biscuit babble, and then we're going to get into some more nitty gritty.
Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on to victory is won. I thank the committee for holding this hearing and look forward to hearing from today's witnesses. I am hopeful that this hearing and this legislation will help us more fully realize our nation's motto as we continue our pursuit of a more perfect union. And I thank you for having me.
This is the black Biden voter right now. Like this is where y'all at with it right now, man. Y'all thought y'all was gonna be able to pull it off with Joe Biden, man, but this is the Biden sexual right now. This is what happened to your vote. You put your vote into the booth, and this poof. This is what happens. You shouldn't have trusted that man. We told you not to. We were stuck on stupid though. And not many people want to sit up here and eat that right now, which is a shame. Now, here's something else I got to say. In these spaces, especially some I'm hearing, and somebody always hops out there and, hey, you guys totally hijacked something. Tariq Nasheed, and he hijacked the Foundation of Black American and took it from ADOS and Yvette Carnell and this and that. Dude, they still have ADOS. They are the founders. Which every time you'll hear them speak, they are the founders of ADOS. So it doesn't seem to me like they lost anything. Here's the part that you guys are in denial about. They want to be leaders and founders. But every time somebody asks them a simple question, or if they see these people have been in these spaces to where these things are coming out, nobody has ever once said a disparaging word to this woman, but yet she goes down and blocks a whole list of people. Do you know how bad that looks? And these people want to be out here talking about, I did this, I did that. Okay, well, here's one thing, lead it. And if all you can do is run, then you're not fit. And there's the truth of that. Now, nobody needs to do anything like that. And all of this shaming, here's the whole point for me. When the lions actually park up in the cage, that's time for you to shut up. So all your little minions and all of that, man, let the dogs run it. You got this dude up here who's younger than me talking about how he don't listen to rap. You weak. I'm not trying to go there tonight. But I'm just saying, don't tell me no sucker shit like that. I don't even listen to that. Man, I'm a musician. You know how many musicians played on West Coast hip hop records? So it's well, then where are you from, my dude? Because you say you're from LA. I gotta wonder where your roots go back to. So, has anybody ever asked that one? I've never heard. I don't know where that cat's roots is. For Yvette, as far as I know, she's Foundation of Black American. Or no, she's ADOS. But here's the thing what's so crazy is one of the reasons why I'm seeing all this is because all the attention, it just wasn't being, foundational Black Americans were giving it up to ADOS. So they giving shout out to ADOS. They ain't leaving you out the conversation. For some reason, this woman goes and Antonio, they just lose their mind. I'll stop tagging me in it. Well, okay. Then you are actually the people that the mainstream media desires to talk to. perfect opportunity, but because you're not the initiators of this one, you couldn't just take a softball and run with it. Instead, you blocked everybody who even put you in that position. All I'm talking about is just real. Okay? That ain't a slight on anyone. But all I'm saying, if you're going to be a leader, be a leader. And the one thing you can't do is sit up here. Man, say what you will about Candace Owens. Candace Owens takes a licking and keeps on ticking and she don't block nobody. Joy Reid be getting at her hard. She ain't blocking nobody. Shoot, Jim Clyburn, he gets smoked every day. Beatty and all the other members of the Congressional Black Caucus, they consistently get this work. Guess what? Nobody's blocking anybody. Only two people who are doing all of that, Roland Martin and Yvette Carnell. That's been my experience for absolutely nothing, except for with Roland Martin, of course, we know why. Because I came up with that Buddy Your Biscuit video. So he didn't like that because it went viral. You gotta put your biscuit. Good grief. So let me take this little quick break and then we'll come right back because I want to get into this other story. Unfortunate situation, and it's been going around. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna play some other stuff that y'all might not have seen along with this particular story from some different like press conferences or whatnot, and also actually because there's some press conferences that did not make the news. Go figure. He got a whole press conference, and I'm only seeing it on like Twitter. There's no, where's the news? This is like a bunch of radio people. I didn't see too many cameras. Maybe I gotta relook at that angle. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Possibly. But again, so we will be right back. Of course, this is the weekly wrap up right here with beatzillapdx official. And we're going to come right back and talk about it.
Tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a monthly with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or either one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Sebastian Shaw, welcome. You said Roller looked like his hair, like a hairline's owl or hairless owl. Oh my Lord. Rochelle Howard, hey. Welcome. Yes, Roland Martin has blocked a lot. And see, here's the other thing about that. The one thing that Roland hasn't, the one person he hadn't blocked was Yvette. If I didn't know better, now this is I'm just thinking in a social marketing aspect. If I wanted to have, say, a controlled opposition type of situation, this person has something and I have something, then we have a kind of a back and forth, but a mutual agreement of back and forth. So we're making sure that it's always a two-person party. I couldn't help but notice Roland blocked me, and within 2 hours, Yvette Carnell blocked me. And I started doing my lives And I mentioned on my lives, I said, Antonio Moore, for some reason, she didn't tell you to block me. And I know I've watched her tell other people to, because I mean, back in the early days, when they fell out with Sandy Darity, oh, I was right there for all of that. Man, whoever was right there sent out a flood of these screenshots of emails and texts and woo. So yeah. So I mean, for me, like I was there for her. I've never, and that's another thing. If she feels like any kind of way, only thing that I can say is the information came to me. I ain't say shit. I just looked at it like, ooh, well, they having a cold falling out. You know, ain't got nothing to do with me though. So I mean, I'm not in that. They was beefing heavy though, and so this chick who was with them pretty tough. Like it was like right after their conference. But yeah, no, Beatzilla ain't got no parts in none of this. Nope. I would have, again, I believe everybody has some kind of something to give. I mean, she's giving good content, so I've never knocked that. Now, of course, I can't agree with some of the things she has done, especially the Frances Cress Welsing thing. Now, of course, majority, I think she scrubbed majority of that off the internet, but I mean, there's still some you could probably find. Some random screenshots of that, and there's video somewhere. So hey, everybody's entitled to a mistake, I guess. Only problem is most people don't admit them. So, needless to say, that's all I'll say about that. So again, y'all ADOS people, we good. Don't be upset that your people don't fool with me. It's no hard feelings. Either way it go. If they tell you stop messing with me because she's done that, other people do that. I ain't never did that to no one. I'm not that type of person. You better stop messing with them if you won't be with me. Now, there are some certain situations that, no, you can't bring nobody around me. And if you dealing with this type of person after seeing what they are, that's different. But if there's something I ain't never been part of, shit, I mean, I don't want to make a judgment on somebody else's word of what happened. Not discounting what you say, but I always like to have both sides if I'm going to make a judgment. Now, with that being said, man, this story here, this brother, man, getting murdered by the police in his own home, under his own blanket. And yeah, so we're going to show you, this is the news, and then we're going to get into the press conference and show you how that went. This ain't cool.
Yeah, Victor and Allison. So the Minneapolis police.
Let's go to CNN's Omar Jimenez. Omar, explain how could this happen?
Yeah, Victor and Allison. So the Minneapolis Police Department says they were executing a warrant that was tied to a homicide investigation out of nearby St. Paul. And as you mentioned, the lawyers say he was not the target of this investigation, and police confirmed that, saying his name wasn't listed on any warrants. Regardless, as you saw in that video, police pushed in. They appear to wake lock up. He's seen in blankets, but also with a gun. That's when shots were fired. Now, police say the gun was aimed at the shooting police officer when those shots were fired, but based on the video and pictures provided, we have not been able to independently confirm that. The parents of Amir Locke also saw that video, and we're hearing from them for the first time today. Take a listen.
As his mother, yes, I will make sure that as long as I'm on this side of this world, yes, I'm going to fight, yes, every day, yes, throughout the day, 365 days, to make sure that Amir Rakari Locke, yes, gets justice, yes, for being executed, yes, by the NPD.
Yes. Now, one of their attorneys and the parents also emphasized that Locke was a lawful gun owner. It's also worth noting that in Minneapolis in late 2020, the city updated its no-knock warrant policy, not completely eliminating it, but basically saying it can only be used for specific high-risk circumstances. So we're trying to get clarity from the city right now on why this particular situation qualified for that, because obviously we have seen that dynamic play out in so many cases across the country, from Breonna Taylor, which of course was a fatal one, even to the case of Anjanette Young here in Chicago, which was not a fatal one, thankfully, but had that same dynamic at play. Victor and Allison.
Absolutely nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Let me see what's this joint. So, okay, so let me get this one in here. This story is crazy though, man. I mean, he's literally like just chilling, like at home. I mean, imagine just being in your own joint in your crib, middle of the night, you just chilling. Looked like he done wrapped up in a blanket and fell asleep on the on the couch. Which I mean, man, cat all by himself. Like, man, he's just chilling out, vibing out by himself, knocked out, and then want to try to wake this man up. Like, number one, and as it turns out, his name isn't even on the warrant. He's not a criminal. He's a law-abiding citizen, no criminal record. So they ain't gonna be able to really dirty this dude up. I mean, they done effed up on this. They cannot clean this up at all. They're trying to do the whole like Philando Castillo type deal with this dude. Oh, well, he pointed his gun at us. Stop.
Was a gun carrying licensed individual.
Yeah, so check out what this sister got to say. I'm gonna run that back because it started a little late. So I'm gonna start this from the beginning. Check out what this sister got to say, because this is her. I believe this is the brother's mother, and I seen an interview with her, and she is with the smoke. I'm already, and she had Ben Crump in the Zoom interview with her, and yeah, ain't no forgiveness talk coming out of her mouth. She said she riding for this 365 till her son get justice. And it was so smooth, she talked right past that old Negro. Shout out to this sister.
Amir was a gun carrying licensed individual. NRA should be excited about that. I carry a car, and many of you probably here carry a car. And you want to talk about why would he have his gun on him? Why? Because when you live in a house, you keep your gun near you, which is at your bedside. That's what I would do. And so if any intruder comes in, I'm going to reach for my gun to protect my house and my home. Amir was at his cousin's house. He was at his cousin's house in the sanctity of his house. And he was there. Of course he had his gun by his side, because where else is he going to put it? He was sleeping at somebody else's house. So he keeps it by his side. And if you would have came in there on me, and any reasonable individual will understand that you would respond as he did. And he didn't point the gun. So change the narrative. You can say he granted. You guys get this story right. You will not smear my nephew's name. You will not on my watch. You are not going to do this to my people anymore. So y'all need to get ready for what's about to happen here in Minnesota.
So clearly, this family has already let Ben Crump know they ain't doing that weak shit. Because this is the aunt. I've now seen the mother and the father. Ben Crump is like, the look on Ben Crump's face in this interview I saw earlier, y'all. He looks so scared. Because he like, ooh, I hope these Negroes don't say that. Because, like, they almost like, okay, Ben, you can be here, but we doing all the talking. I don't think I even heard Ben Trump say much. Now that I think about it, the interview I seen with the parents, I did not hear him speak much at all. You know how he's using that, and we got to do this, and that. No. Not with this family. It's unfortunate, but I am saying I'm glad to see what I'm seeing from this family. I'm pleasantly pleased from the energy I am seeing from these people. And I'm pleasantly surprised from all the energy, even from the people who ain't even related to this man. Like this sister right here.
About when it's a threat.
Chief Huffman, no, hold on.
We all know these events happen very rapidly, and as there's a gun emerging in your direction, you're forced to make a split-second decision about when it's a threat.
Chief Huffman, no, hold on. Chief Huffman, no, do not. Okay, I'm not a threat. I don't have a gun. Okay, don't treat me like I'm a threat. This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is. When I agreed to work with you on the work group, we talked about the importance of transparency and accountability. And here, what we are seeing is business as usual. And you know this, Amelia. You know this, Jacob. I don't know how you guys slept that night. I couldn't sleep at night. Tears from a mother's perspective, thinking about what happened. I saw the picture of Amir. He looks like a boy. My son is 17 years old. He has slept on his friends' couches for sleepovers. So we cannot sit here and whitewash this and pretend that it's okay. You knew that I was not going to stand for police violence and a push for accountability, yet you asked me to be a part of the work group. And I knew what I thought I was signing up for. This isn't what I signed up for. I understand if you're not comfortable having me continue to co-chair, that's your prerogative. I signed up to help bring recommendations because we're tired of being killed. We're tired of the cover-ups. We're tired of the excuses. And to hide behind the St. Paul Police Department, the deadliest police force in the state of Minnesota, is unacceptable. You all had no business agreeing to carry out a warrant, and now you're claiming that's part of their investigation. You don't know. Well, why the hell did you all sign up to do this in the first place? There was a homicide that happened at 1-something in the morning on Hennepin Avenue. Someone was killed, and then the person drove away in a black SUV. They're still at large in Minneapolis, potentially a threat to residents. But you all go do something for St. Paul Police, and now you're trying to hide behind that decision. It's not acceptable. We are ready for change. When the people voted to re-elect you.
That one was going off. And so as it turns out, they end up leaving because that sister just lambastes them. And doesn't let them put the false narrative out there that this guy had a gun and was pointing. No, he wasn't. No, he was not. He just simply was not. And the way they're just lying on the man is just ridiculous. It's shameful. And I'm glad that it's basically being met immediately. Because, see, for so many years, we always have these people trying to insert themselves in where we're supposed to be speaking for ourselves and our needs. All of a sudden, somebody has something to speak and start talking this we shit when they ain't part of we in the first place. And that type of thing has got to stop. And I'm so glad that this sister went up there and prevented this Kim Potter looking ass woman from getting up here saying this lie about this man who was in his home or in his relative's home, sleeping on a couch with a legal registered weapon, because he's in a domicile, he's not outside. So if it's legal, even if he doesn't have a concealed carry permit, he is considered to be at home. So it's all the same. So, well, there's a gun pointed at me. Well, you have the wrong address. So even if his gun was pointed at you, you are an illegal intruder. I want y'all to keep that in mind, family. There's any police officer that got shot up in this house should have been shot. Why? Because they were illegal intruders. You know how we're talking about, oh, we need to go get some law and order down here with all these looters and this. Well, what should happen to an illegal intruder? I think the last person that shot at these illegal intruders, y'all try to give him some time, right? Y'all try to give him a case, charges. And then the good Judge Olu Stevens stepped in on the side of right and righteousness and dropped all of the charges. Then what happened? Then all of a sudden they started screaming a foul. Oh, Olu Stevens is playing favorites and blah, blah, blah. Anytime you do black people fairly in a position that they believe we put you in, Negro, well, then they expect that you're going to play the game. You know, you said they don't even want to let us protect ourselves. Hell no. Hell no. That's what why you think they never got rid of that Dred Scott? They'll tell you, oh, well, no, you haven't abolished it. That's why I came up with the hashtag, abolish Dred Scott. So, you know, but these type of people, this woman finna get up here and just flat out lie. And then you get these people up here, man, they don't respect their police, because the people to whom put that badge on are pieces of shit an often amount of times. And guess what? You can have a few good ones, but if you have that, even one bad apple ruins the whole bunch. And we're in a time and age to where we ain't even identifying things as what they is. That's why we're having so much trouble right now, because nobody knows which way is up. That's by design, though. So, I mean, you are in a consistent state of daily chaos. And then you got these nuts up here talking about we and all of this and make us stronger. What the hell are you talking about? There's none of that exists that you're talking about. So I don't know why these people keep coming out of their mouth. Well, we're going to be together. No, you're not. What we need is to have our tribal designation, just like every other tribe. Because this, you know, if we're going to get into the everybody came from Africa, okay, well, go get your money from the Japanese and the Chinese and the Indians first. Before you come talking about what we need to do. No. Go get your money from them. Because all of us came from the motherland. So I need you to go over there and go confiscate you a gold Buddha and put it on a plane or put it on a boat and take it back to Africa, telling them that you got right to take this. If you ain't going to do that, yeah, stay off my wallet. Reparations. We going to lift every voice and say reparations. No tangibles. No vote. It's a new day around here, man. We not doing this no more. Dig? We are not doing this. Let me see. I need to bring this one up in here for y'all. Let's see, where am I going? So let's check. Yeah, let's go here for first. Okay, so Man, this woman out here in Virginia. I mean, she's like the Jamaican version of Jesse Lee Peterson in a female form. But this Winsome Sears woman, oh my God, y'all! Check my resolutions. Oh, really? I'm that blurry? No. Let me take a look here. It looks like hey, why is that in 480? Let me check. In the meantime, family, hit that like button, please. Let's see what we got here. Let's get that. Should be on 720. Okay, it's saying 720. It might be doing that automatic thing to y'all. I hope not. Yeah, it says I'm broadcasting 720. Huh. I don't know what the deal is there. Yeah, I'm showing 720 right here. Huh. So yeah, try and go in there into your settings and just see if you can't fool with it. You know how they do. Yep. Okay, good. So, like I was saying, this Winsome Sears woman is she is like a female, like I said, the Jamaican female Jesse Lee Peterson. Cause she is on some super anything. I mean, she obviously holds a great disdain for. She almost makes me feel like a person that doesn't really enjoy being black. Almost like she's a more charismatic, less angry Sheriff Clark. I don't know. Check this out.
Governor Youngkin's way to Virginia's Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. Lieutenant Governor, what's Plan B just in case this does not go the way not only of the governor, but let's also say the folks who put him in office?
Well, what's going to happen is we're just going to follow the law. The decision we're expecting probably tomorrow, and we're expecting that we will prevail and that the parents will be able to make the decision about about the mask that the children should wear or should not wear. Imagine giving the parents the ability to make those decisions for their children. I mean, what a concept. So we are hoping that we will prevail. But if we don't, Charles, we're a nation of laws. We're a commonwealth of laws. We're going to abide by the decision that the Supreme Court of Virginia provides for us. And, if we can't get anything through the legislature, then that's what we have to live with. From what I understand, the law anyway that everybody is, focusing on that says we do have to follow the law in Virginia, which was based on Senate Bill 1303. From what I understand, that expires in August. So, one way or the other, this mask mandate will come to an end. Finally.
How much of this, though, is just really a sort of a bitterness over losing the election? And again, I'll get back to this point. I think the state made a loud and resounding message, not only to the folks there, but to the rest of the country, that parents want to be the ones who make the main decisions for what happens to their children, whether they wear masks or what they learn in school.
When we ran for office, we were running for a whole year, and we told the voters exactly what we were going to do. We did not hide anything from them. We said that we were going to give the parents the option of choosing whether to mask or not. And now that we have won the election, imagine that you're trying to fulfill your campaign promises. Imagine politicians are trying to live up to their word. That's all we're trying to do. That's what the governor is trying to do. And we have our attorney general Jason Miyares, who argued that very same case right now before the Virginia Supreme Court. Now, you ask, well, what is the issue about, them winning elections and now they're out of power? Elections, as a president said to us not so long ago, President Obama, that elections have consequences. And so these are the consequences of, winning an election. We get to fulfill our word. The parents are looking for us to do that, and we are going to.
Right.
How difficult is it, Charles, to say those parents who want to mask their children, mask your child. But if you don't want to mask, don't mask them. I don't understand how that impacts you at all.
Yeah. Lieutenant Governor, I want to change the topic here for a moment because the suspect in that deadly shooting of 2 officers at Bridgewater College making a court appearance today. This is a nationwide epidemic, the rise in crime. What are your thoughts, particularly as we see just 2 more officers, taking this sort of damage?
My God, my God. Here we are reaping what some politicians have sown. They have vilified our law enforcement officials, and so people are emboldened to do whatever they think.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. See what you're trying to do now. She's trying to smoke screen you past this. No, sir, Winston.
Their idea of right. It's whatever their truth is. And if their truth is that policemen are bad, well, then they're going to do things to get rid of them, aren't they? And so what we're saying is we're not going to allow that to happen. We are a nation of laws. We understand that our policemen need training, our police women need training, law enforcement, they need some more training, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah. But how can it be that we are losing our law enforcement in this manner? Not just in Virginia, you saw what happened in New York.
Yeah.
I was raised in the South Bronx, and I just can't believe what's happening. We have the gentleman, John Painter, a former police chief of the Grottos, and he decided he was going to retire and come to Bridgewater, a safe community, retirement, nice, a quiet community. You're not even safe there, apparently.
Yep.
And then he was, as you probably know, the best man to J.J. Jefferson. And by the way, Mr. Jefferson just celebrated a birthday, and he instituted, when he was at Shenandoah University, so many safety features on campus that he was given an award in 2017.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, when policemen are running, they run towards the violence while we're running away. They put a vest on and go to work every day.
Man, we have been black in America for hundreds of years. We have had an enemy that would do all types of heinous stuff to us for hundreds of years. I don't understand how you can get up here after being born in another country and adopt this mentality that's not tied to the lineage of the people to which you are trying to overshadow. That just makes you look like a dirtbag when you do shit like that. And this woman here is a dirtbag. I mean, good grief.
Yeah.
These are our heroes.
It's really heartbreaking.
God, what is happening to us?
Well, you know what? A lot of it goes. This rhetoric is this war on police started as rhetoric more than a decade ago, and it's mushroomed into this. And the people who've authored it, at some point, we need to hold them into account. Lieutenant Governor, it's a pleasure. My first time interviewing you. I waited for this moment. It's an honor. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube.
All right, let me get that out there. Come on out there. All right. See, these people who are coming into these spaces, it's like you got to realize what black folks here deal with. And everybody that's coming here ain't looking to get with us. It's the exact opposite. They come here to look to get with everybody else. You did? But with that being said, before I move on to this next little piece, oh man, y'all, can somebody explain to me what's going on right here? Can someone please explain to me what is happening here? I mean, this, man, yeah. You know, when I see that, it just makes me think like this. Like, what is going on here? No, that ain't no makeup. That's cake soap. That ain't no makeup. That is skin lightening. And because that yellow, that's a video. I might actually have to pull that up too, because yeah, we're going to get to that. She looking like Juicy Smollett. I'm looking like Journey Smollett. Oh, M Soul, that is funny. Up there looking like Journey Smollett. Oh my goodness. Yeah, La Cat. Yeah, Serena's doing the bleaching nonsense. This is horrible. Horribly. Now, what else do I gotta show you this? The T-Pain thing. I don't know what's wrong with this dude, man. So T-Pain say we should stop celebrating Black History Month. Y'all separating us. Why is it always somebody coming up in our spaces talking shit? I just don't get it. We need to stop. You need to be quiet. I don't understand how you're talking. My ancestors' blood is in this mug. Your ancestors' blood is somewhere else. They bones ain't in this soil. Why are we sitting up here talking between us and you about us representing our ancestors in this country? No, how disrespectful. And then, somebody had to find out what happened. Oh, Lord. Okay. See, now, when people are trying to say it ain't about this and it ain't about that, we just trying to heal ourselves. We got people like this coming out here trying to once again do a Nigerian and say, y'all need to. Man, if one thing I could take from all of these damn spaces is ain't nobody out here got no respect for us that y'all should. You got Ethiopians up here talking about how they'll slap a foundational Black American. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I mean, that's when I that would probably be worth just to see, like, damn, how long is it going to take him to wake up? Like, I mean, you just got somebody like, man, I'll come slap you, man. Yeah. Watch out, man. I'm going to slap you. Don't worry about it. I got this. Because you know what they really be seeing in their minds, right? This is what they really are in their mind. then the little dance at the end. Oh my Lord. Don't scare your bosses either, so they don't have to look at you like this. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna tell him he needs to get back to work. He's been on that phone for a minute. I just don't understand what I can possibly say that he won't go off. I mean, I can clearly see he's unstable. But I have to tell him to go back to work, and they're making me do this. Oh, jeez, man, why are they making me do this? Oh, man, he's clearly unstable. How do I approach this? Yes, hey, buddy, maybe you should, like, get off the phone and, like, maybe get back to work. I don't know. He'll still probably flip out like, so, yeah, I don't know, man. And then he'd be on the phone all the time with this one here. And it's like, oh, man. Boy, he's, again, oh, man, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. What will he do? What will he do? What will he do? And I guess somebody wanted to report my TikTok video. Imagine that.
Then your light shall spring forth. Then you shall call, and the Lord shall answer. Then you shall cry, and the Lord shall say, here I go, here I go. No, y'all niggas that fuck me. Here I go. No, y'all niggas that fuck me. Here I go. Man right here. The man right here. Here I go. Y'all motherfuckers better get ready to rumble. Slices on the bump. Faster than lightning, humble. Slice on the bump. Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready. Nope, I know. Birds are few. You bitches probably can see me with the bird's eye view. Ooh, visualize to the light. Stop walking the one way to a fucking dead end. But you yeah. Oh, man. Lord. Oh, man. I'm just, just a quick flashback to Wednesday. So again, family, we have to always stay mindful that we have quite a bit of opposition out here that don't want to see us to win. And some of our opposition, unfortunately, comes from within sometimes too. So again, when I say devils, that's a content of character situation. So it's not based on color, because clearly we see that even if you black and, you can still see the demon pop up. You see them eyes buck. Can't see nothing else. You can see some buck eyes, boy. What they say, eyes are the window to the soul. Yikes. Oh, I just don't know, man. How am I gonna tell him to get back to work? I'm so perplexed. He's clearly unstable. I mean, he obviously doesn't like white people. Oh man, what am I gonna do? Boy, it's hard out here for a player. This is another meme that I posted today too, as well. And as a person of color, don't you? Yeah, correct that immediately. And I'm glad that this is coming back around, because I remember seeing this meme some while ago. And it is so necessary when we have people up here talking stupid like T-Pain and this other nut who's from Nigeria, who's, now here it is, you in America able to run for office in America trying to tell black folks what we shouldn't be doing, when the actual amendment that, what, truth be told, when people come in here talking that type shit, it's like, okay, well then why don't you just scrap that part of an amendment of yourself and get on a plane and go back to where you came from?
give up all your citizenship here because, you know, us lowly Negroes who got you that, you know, clearly don't deserve any respect here. So, okay, well, you don't want this. Why aren't you going back? But the truth of the matter is you do like what you have benefited from. And what you like to do is tell yourself that it was just the white people who did it. No. You come over here disrespecting us like that. I don't know how long you think that rolls on without getting answered. Onika, welcome. How are you doing? Shalom, my sister. All right. So there is some more we need to get into. And then I'm gonna have to bring up, I think, my Twitter feed. Let me see what we got here. So let's go deal with this crime bill. I don't know what y'all was thinking about voting for Joe Biden, man. This is just madness. This dude never should have been trusted. I mean, I'm talking about never should have been trusted. Okay. So I will play. Which one I'm going to do first? I'll do this one first. And I'll play both of these back to back. So this is what just happened in New York. Family, my New York family, man, y'all got some serious issues going on out there. And y'all are just like ground zero for this new crime bill that, trust me, it's going to start here being tested out. Then they're going to praise and how successful it is. Put the black faces on the front of it and tell us how great it is to make our community safer. I mean, I am literally watching the whole, whatever it's the black leaders. We are doing it all over again, family. Check it out. It's ridiculous.
What President Biden rolled out today, meeting with Mayor Eric Adams, Governor Kathy Hochul, and many more leaders, was a series of commitments to stem gun violence. His plan includes hyper-local Justice Department partnerships to target repeat violent offenders. There's a crackdown of the so-called Iron Pipeline, where guns travel from the south to northern states. Plus, there will be a national ghost gun enforcement initiative to train prosecutors to go after these less traceable weapons built with easy-to-get parts. Finally, the president is promising to prioritize federal prosecutions of those who sell guns repeatedly to criminals.
The answer is not to abandon our streets. That's not the answer. The answer is to come together, the police and communities, building trust and making us all safer.
President Biden is asking Congress to budget $500 million to beef up that type of policing and fund community intervention programs like violence interrupters and after-school programs. Mayor Adams praised his plan.
And President Biden is here to deliver on his promise to come here. He committed to it, and he is here. And get New Yorkers the backup we need. Far too long we called for backup, and it was not here. It is time to have that backup.
Already today.
The president met with Mayor Adams and other local leaders. CBS 2's Dick Brennan live in Hell's Kitchen with details on the promises from the president today. Dick?
Well, the promises all involve getting the guns off the streets. We can tell you right now that the president says that if they can get the guns off the streets, that perhaps they can make a difference in stopping a seemingly unending crime wave. President Biden is gone, but the violence rolls on. A man shot on 1st and 103rd Street. The victim taken to the hospital and should recover. People here are mixed on whether it'll make a difference that the president came to New York City.
He doesn't care. It's to save face. It's to make himself look good. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a real impact because I know the mayor and I know the president, so I hope they come to a good agreement.
Both Mayor Adams and President Biden did agree the crime wave has to stop.
It's enough.
Okay, now you see the one woman, she kept it on code.
Like, nah, this is just a publicity stunt. Well, it ain't, because he's pushing a new crime bill. But you best believe it is not for black folks' benefit. It is to black folks' detriment. This is not a good thing for us at all, family. So the black family in New York, this is alert time. Time to be on full heightened alert.
Enough is enough.
The visit comes on the day after the second funeral for hero members of the NYPD killed in the line of duty, Detectives Jason Rivera and Wilbert Mora.
Mayor Adams, you and I agree. The answer is not to abandon our streets. That's not the answer. The answer is not to defund the police. It's to give you the tools, the training, the funding.
Those tools include new federal initiatives, more resources to U.S. Attorney's Office to combat violent crime at the local level, and a national ghost gun program to train prosecutors on how to move against ghost guns that are assembled from kits available on the internet. But critics say strategies can't be strictly aimed at targeting guns.
If we continue to blame this violence on merely just gun violence and not the cultural issue that it is, and not the real problem, which is the criminals, which are the criminals that are committing these violent crimes, we're never going to get anywhere.
I asked the mayor if he can achieve his crime-fighting goals when even members of his own party disagree on various issues, including bail reform.
I'm going to go to Albany, sit down with many of them are friends. We just disagree. And because we disagree does not mean...
You know, that cop that was talking, I hope y'all caught that, because he was sending out some major dog whistles. When he's talking about culture and all of that, nobody has a criminal culture here. Okay? So let me back up to what this dude had to say.
I asked the mayor if he can achieve his crime-fighting goals when even members of his own party disagree on various issues.
Yeah, let me get back to that guy. Where's he at?
To combat violent crime at the local level, and a national ghost gun program to train prosecutors on how to move against ghost guns that are assembled from kits available on the internet. But critics say strategies can't be strictly aimed at targeting guns.
If we continue to blame this violence on merely just gun violence and not the cultural issue that it is, and not the real problem, which is the criminals, which are the criminals that are committing these violent crimes, we're never...
Okay, so this dude is tying crime and criminals and violence into a cultural thing. What culture you think he's talking about? Cultural? They're saying black people are inherently criminal. I mean, and this is what's coming out of these people out here, man. And Joe Biden is all with it. Like, Joe Biden is fully on board with this. And he's showing up in person to go sign checks for this. This ain't cool, family. Y'all, man, I hope y'all paying attention. Because the New York is only the testing ground. You are not going to get around this, family.
We're going to get anywhere.
I asked the mayor if he can achieve his crime-fighting goals when even members of his own party disagree on various issues, including bail reform.
I'm going to go to Albany, sit down with many of them are friends. We just disagree. And because we disagree does not mean we can find a middle ground to tweak, not take away what was in place, because my life work is fighting for reform.
Now, the NYPD's John Miller says it's all about precision policing. That means focusing on the very small number of individuals who commit, apparently, so many of the shootings in this town. We're live on the West Side. Dick Brennan, CBS 2 News.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Focus on just that small group. I mean, they're using every last code word possible, family. This ain't cool. This is not cool at all. Lord. Hustle Man TV. What about the rapper? What rapper? Is there a rapper out there in New York? Which one? Because I don't understand what's going on out there other than, I mean, these people have been pushing this. Well, we already knew what Joe Biden was. But the problem is so many people in these Greek organizations that were sent to make sure black folks voted in mass numbers for Joe Biden. On top of that, all the money that his campaign got from Black Lives Matter. Now, what are we looking at? Okay, so literally, you got black folks putting this man in office and cannot get a thing. That's absolute madness. Absolute madness. So, what I'm going to do right now, you said you have something to say, and you've been silent too long. Okay, Miss Onika, that is fine. I am I'm open for all criticisms, or I would assume that I'll take that's a criticism. Would you want to call in live, or would you want to talk to me offline? Let me know, because I've seen you in the chats before, and you've always kept it respectable. But if you desire to call in, I could definitely make that happen. But if you desire to talk to me off script, we can also do that as well. So not to my platform. Okay, that is all right. I understand everybody is not down to be on air, so that is totally all right. Not to mention, there might not be the conversation for it. So I'll tell you what, I'll put my email in the chat. So send me an email at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you are on Twitter or Instagram, you can hit me there as well at beatzillapdx. And we'll make it do what it do. You did? So, with that being said, we're going to take a very quick little break. And then we're going to come back and get into the last leg of the broadcast today. And, thank you so much, Onika. Thank you so much. I much appreciate it. I'm just giving it how I get it. You know what I mean? That's all I can do. I speak from the heart. And as most people know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am not hard to read. So, we are going to take a brief little musical break. And then I shall return.
We've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Assalamu alaikum, man. Peace go with your brother, man. Inhale that cake to keep the peace, man. To keep the peace, man. It's funny when you're looking at your brother, man. And he acting like the mothers, man. Because I'm from the country, man. I can tell the difference, man. We see the world differently. But for them skinnies and them yoga pants, we had them southern girls with them fat bodies. I grew up with a whole Trump man. And I ain't talking immigrants. I'm talking about U.S. citizens being killed by U.S. citizens. America, that's where we live. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long.
Wrote a letter to the president, he tweeted in response. Forget about your residence, your daddy and your mom. Sitting in the synagogue and burning the Quran. Another psychedelic, no, another Vietnam. I'm thinking I don't wanna get another job. And I don't wanna get another boss. And we don't wanna take another loss. Everybody wanna floss, they don't wanna pay the cost. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up in the morning feeling light. Solar rays eliminate the night. Polar sip eliminate my fights. No comparison to Christ, but I'm trying to get it right. I've been thinking they can never seen a dead man incriminate a popo and tell him he deserve it. He invisible and loco, playing with our minds, but they never take our soul. Though wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, like the song go.
Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long. Wake up, 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 wake up. 'Cause we've been sleeping too long. We've been sleeping too long.
All right. We are back. All right. And for those y'all don't know, that is my partner, Tony Ozier, a.k.a. Dookie Green. That album is called Auto Tone, and that song is called Wake Up. So, yes, Tony Ozier, my partner in funk at the Doodle Funk All Stars, as well as our good sister, Arietta Ward. So, if y'all hear the other song that I play for my breaks, the one, that is Arietta. So, for those of have y'all been down with this broadcast for a minute, y'all are well familiar with who Arietta Ward is. All right, okay. So let me see what I got here. Okay, so here is some more. I guess they were actually out there kind of doing a little rally out there today. Because actually how I found out about this case was from Ben Crump's post, actually. As crazy as it is, that's exactly how I found out. So yeah, let me go here first. So we're gonna go here. Let me get this up for you because again, I believe the hell was this? I just got some weird message on Twitter. I don't know what the hell that was about. All right. So let me get over here and add this to the. All right. There we go.
You said the sounds off the chain. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So this is going on out in Arizona or New Mexico, I believe, this past week. And no, I'm sorry, Florida. This is Florida. So again, for those of y'all who have seen this before, man, these folks out here is on some other, and just letting you know how racist they openly, blatantly racist they are.
White power. We're live. 6 million viewers. Say hi. White pride's when you think it. White power is when you live it. You can shove that finger up your rabbi's ass. Isn't you? Look at them.
They are serious about it, ain't they? That's right, bro. You ain't too far from there. Good grief! I feel for you, sister.
We're live. 6 million viewers.
Good grief! Ooh, sorry, Louise. This is America. Lord. So that was going on down there in Florida. And, but this is the same place that is so gung-ho about getting rid of critical race theory. Imagine it. Imagine that. So, yeah, they did that. And so what's getting so much attention now is that, especially with the whole Whoopi Goldberg incident, people are learning that the fight against critical race theory doesn't just affect black people like they wanted it to. So everybody else, especially the Jewish community, was very content with us, having our histories tampered with. But when it came down to, what they were going to have to answer for, then, the energy switches up. So let's see. Let me get this going for you. Because, family, y'all thought that was a makeup job. It ain't. It is not. Oh, family. Are you looking at that?
There was definitely a time I didn't have boundaries. And I think boundaries are so important to have, in particular for a professional athlete that is trying to reach goals and to win, because if you don't have those boundaries, you're not going to reach what you want to do. There was definitely a time I didn't have boundaries. And I think boundaries are so important to have, in particular for a professional athlete that is trying to reach goals and to win, because if you don't have those boundaries, you're not going to reach what you want to do. There was definitely a time I didn't have boundaries. And I think boundaries are so important to have, in particular.
Oh, good grief. Yikes. Yeah, family, that ain't makeup. That ain't makeup. That ain't makeup. Oh. Ooh, ouch. Oh. Oh, and by the way, what's that at? I actually got that in here, don't I? Channeling, who is the whole white woman. This feels like a movie Get Out. So real. I mean, it looks crazy, don't it? Don't that look crazy? That it's like, well, what are you really trying to do? Because it's very confusing for me. Let me tell you. Okay, I don't have that picture up here. Dang, okay. So let me see if okay, let me just bring it up here. All right, y'all see that right there. So Whoopi Goldberg, I'm not sure what you're really looking to do, but you sat out here with this whole Ted Danson in blackface, and this was cool. Shout out to Nicole's View. Uh, but look at her. I mean, she just up there just cheesing, and I'm like, yes, yes. This is the joke. It's the ticket. Oh my Lord, it's not. Oh, oh, goodness gracious. Boy, if missing it was a person. Now, family, I want your opinion on this because I don't know what to say. This kind of struck me as a little interesting because it's like, well, is this mom not happy for him?
Nah, I ain't gonna go there.
Look at how his mom is looking.
Well, Harold Perkins makes it official. He is headed to LSU. You saw the Texas A&M hat there, but it's LSU ultimately on the head. And so as the celebration happens in the background, Harold Perkins makes it official to LSU. Harold.
I want to thank God, too, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And
let's do it without the sound. Let's do it without the sound. How is that looking to y'all, family? Are we seeing some jealousy of the son? I mean, is that what's happening? I mean, is it me? It looked like mom ain't too happy. Like, I mean,
nah, I ain't gonna go there. I'm going back home, baby.
I don't know what to say. She just didn't seem the happiest for her baby choosing a college. You know what I'm saying? She over here just like, oh, I'm so over this. What you got better to do? Because if he's in the Super Bowl, ooh, I bet you I know who's going to be talking about I need some tickets. You dig? Oh, Lord. Let's see. And I showed y'all that commercial for these people the other day. But here, check this out. So this is our Congressional Black Caucus. Look at what they're doing. So the Black Caucus is ready for a moonshot. Together with POTUS Biden, we will work to cut cancer deaths in half over the next 25 years. Woo-wee, this is just what we was looking for, Joe Biden. Ain't nobody asking for none of this, by the way, but nonstop just giving us a bunch of random stuff, which is cool. You know, I'm glad you guys are looking at, some cancer stuff, and that's cool. But see, we're actually asking for reparations. Lift every voice and sing reparations. That's the topic of discussion over here in the grassroots Black community and just the Black community in whole, because that clearly has been the non-stop conversation. But they're so happy that, wow, they get the chance to get her. And ladies, who the hell, where did she get this pantsuit? Who is dressing this woman? And other than ski win, this woman has zero swag. Zero swag. Look at that damn pantsuit. That ain't even tailor fit. This is the vice president we're talking about. Are you kidding? I'm going to be cut every time you see me. Look at that. Look at that Hugo Boss suit that Joe Biden got on. She looked like she got this off of Kmart's rack while he's sitting up there in a Hugo Boss tailor-made suit. What's happening here? What is really happening here? That looks terrible. That ain't even a power pantsuit. The jacket's too big. The pants are oversized. I mean, you if not giving a damn about your vice president was a person. Good going, Joe Biden. Good grief. Let's see. Let's get back up here. Oh, and so to add insult to injury, Biden's approval rating drops to a new low of 41%, and I'm certain that is a generous number. So let's be clear. He is not being approved of at all, and this is just the first year. I would say you're in trouble. That's not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, that weirdo here. He's just that dude is such a jerk. Now, there we go. Let's get back to this story here. That's a Black Truth has posted this. There we go. Let's get this here.
So how do we actually create that world where we're not just electing a Barack Obama, we're not just electing a Kamala Harris and the squad, for example, but we're all...
Okay, finally, come on, man. Get your stuff together, Twitter.
Also facilitating and making the ground, and the fertile for the types of changes that the communities that elected them actually want.
This may seem counterintuitive, but part of what we have to do is in some ways move away from our emphasis on electoral politics. This is not to say that voting is not really important, that paying attention to electoral politics isn't important, but so much of the work that's happening in Black communities, especially around mutual aid, on really dealing with resilience around COVID, it's happening just through community work, right? Both institutions and communities and individual organizers organizing communities who are going out there, finding the resources that communities need in the immediate to deal with the immediate problems that Black Americans are facing. If Biden, follows through on his commitment to nominate a Black woman to the Supreme Court, what happens when he nominates her, even if she's confirmed, comes down to what kind of person she is, what her politics are, what her ethics are and morals are, right? And so we know that race alone is not enough of an indicator to understand what someone is going to do with power. And that's why we have to get a little bit more specific than we've had to get in the past.
I definitely agree. Because we have to be specific. And that's one thing that what's being heard now, and one of the reasons why these spaces and the conversations that's been had in these spaces were very important to be had. And it literally shows the world how important what our actual wishes are, and how much we're banging the drum that they are hearing it loud and clear. And right now just having to respond the best way they can. We fully expect Joe Biden to do everything in his power to combat the idea of having to confront reparations and paying reparations as a government. Here's the problem for everybody else. They seem to believe the money's going to come out of their pocket, which they know it's not. If it's going to be a government thing, it's a government thing. So they're not losing by way of the government or anything. Where they're losing is they can no longer treat us like crap. When we have political power and economic power, they can no longer treat us like crap. First, the first item of the Dr. Martin Luther King Reparations Act is restorative justice.
That is in the legal system, so the judicial system, and then also the financial system. So breaking down the all of the miscarriages of justice that we have gotten all the way back to Reconstruction to now, and calculate that up, and you can come up with an average for that. So don't let these people up here. They have forensic auditors. But all of a sudden, nobody can figure it out. Stop letting people tell you stupid shit. Yes, they can. They can find out if you owed somebody, if your family member owes somebody some money 300 years ago, they can find you. Trust me, they can find you. They'll connect the dots, put together the pieces, and send you a bill. So, you got to understand how these people operate. Same thing, which I didn't understand how everybody was falling for them PPP loans. It's like I realize y'all literally getting checks from the IRS. The Internal Revenue is literally who's paying you. And you want to go fool with that and play some games with them people like they ain't finna
so
go
how
take
do we
it out
actually
your ass.
create?
That's stupid. And I mean, I understand we got people that are definitely misguided in our circles, but I mean, good grief, you gotta be better than that. You dig? So something I want y'all to hear. Let's see. Let me get this dude. Yeah. Okay. So remember, we were talking about Biden's thing, and so before anybody tells you this is a win for us, it ain't. It is not at all. So here, let me we're gonna go through this and just check this out. So this is his press conference from today. One of the things he did today was to establish his executive order in New York to get those police more money under the guise of giving it to a mayor. But let's remember, Eric Adams is police. And he appointed his new black lady commissioner. She's police. None of these people, they're all police. So them being black, you can pay no mind or attention to. That's relevant. So this is the sister I was telling you about that he had come speak up. He pulled her out of somewhere. It's like, all right, I need a black face to get up here and talk for me. So you get up here. Look at Kamala's suit. Look at that. That suit is just, look at the way it's hanging off of her. That's horrible. Who the hell dresses Kamala Harris, man? Okay. Gonna play? Let's get it. I'm waiting for it to play, family. And in the meantime, please hit the like button for me. You gotta be kidding. Okay, what we gonna do here? And this is gonna stay stuck. All right. I don't know what happened here. Go out of here. Let's try this again. All right. Let's go into it. Jeez. M-Soul, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't think he gonna be wanting to be on the phone having phone sex at that moment, though. So, honey, that ain't gonna cut it.
Everybody, thank you.
Damn, Blue.
Please have a seat. I want to welcome everyone to this historic event here at the Ironworkers Hall. I want to thank businessman manager Aaron Best, I want to thank Ray Cleland and everyone here at Local 5 and for this entire administration.
Have a seat. Thank you all. Thank you, Secretary Walsh. Thank you. It is always good. Oh. Have a seat. Thank you. It's always good to be in the House of Labor. I want to thank you all for the work you do every day.
It's always good to be in the house of the Lord. Did she really just try that? It's good to be in the House of Labor. Stop.
Administration. So good afternoon, everyone. Before we get started, I just want to say a word about the jobs report that came out today. I do believe, I think we all know that it really shows that Americans are getting back to work. And what we are seeing is that it is happening at a record-setting pace. As a result of the diligence and the determination of the American people and the policies of our administration, our nation's economic recovery continues to be, let there be no doubt, the strongest in the world. And again, I want to thank Marty Walsh for his introduction and the work you do every day. So it is good to be back also in Prince George's County. Senator Cardin, Senator Van Hollen, it's good to be back with you as always, my former colleagues, and of course, to be here and gathered here know that our administration will always stand in solidarity with you and with organized labor. It comes from our heart, it comes from our soul. We are unequivocal and clear about the importance of that relationship, not only to us and our administration, but to our country and the working men and women of America. Because we know union workers built our nation.
Oh! Woo! Ski-wee! Did you just hear what she said? We know that unions have built our nation. Your sister girl right here, Ski-wee. Your sister girl right here let you know what she think of you Negroes. Shoot, that sounds like a Joe Biden line. Immigrants built this country. Family, I know y'all got them Biden sexuals in your family, so you make sure to play them this. We'll just go back a little bit so to make sure they hear it twice.
From one of the greatest friends of union labor workers, President Joe Biden. So I just have a few comments to make. All of the workers gathered here know that our administration will always stand in solidarity with you and with organized labor. It comes from our heart, it comes from our soul. We are unequivocal and clear about the importance of that relationship, not only to us and our administration, but to our country and the working men and women of America. Because we know union workers built our nation.
How disrespectful.
You know, I think about a place like San Francisco. Union workers built the Golden Gate Bridge. In Chicago, union workers built the Willis Tower. In St. Louis, union workers built the Gateway Arch. And in New York City, on hallowed ground, in the years after 9/11, workers from dozens of different unions built One World Trade Center.
That's so funny how she could go through all of the things that union workers have built, but nobody seems to remember all the things that slaves built. One of the buildings being where she actually resides, called the White House. The monuments, the big obelisk, these are all built by slaves. Huh. But here's your sister girl showing so much homage to Black Americans, especially considering how this is Black History Month. So I want you to understand, unions built this country, not you slaves and not your ancestors or this reparations we're talking about. So we're about to sign this money over to more white folks to get some more paper. And you get a song.
And so the point there being, when our nation needs something to be built right, and those things that, by the way, are recognized throughout the world as the epitome of carpentry, of building, of what we do in terms of the skills that those workers apply, we receive worldwide recognition.
Am I watching a confessional from Love and Hip Hop? Oh man, this is like the Mona Scott School for Interviewing here, man. This is freaking hilarious. Like, am I kidding? Like, this looks like the Basketball Wives confessionals. So when I was like, and then she was tripping, and then this and this and that, and see what y'all don't understand, and then I'm gonna do it like that. Woo! Woo-wee.
So when the United States needs something to be built right, we turn to union workers. And the reason for that is also clear. Union workers are committed workers, productive workers, efficient.
Oh man, so that's slick. Did you peep that? So she did the whole sister girl thing, and yeah, so this and that. And now she's back to holding the sides of the desk. So for all of my important white people, understand that I'm still here serious about your money. I just had to entertain these Negroes for a second. Don't mind me.
Workers, skilled workers. They are well trained and well prepared to get the big jobs done and to do them right. Not to mention on time and on budget.
So for all of those black contractors that can't actually get union, get part of the union, but they're black contractors, then this contract actually excludes those individuals. Good going, Black Bidensexuals. You really won, man.
And over the past year, I have visited, as I have for many years in my career, union job sites and worker training centers across our nation. Last month, for example, I visited a training facility in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and there I spoke with job seekers, apprentices, union members, workers who spent hundreds of hours learning to remove and replace lead pipes and service lines in a city that is sadly replete with them. And the officials there, they told me, by the time these union workers finish their training, they are the best in the business. And so that's why, one of the reasons why we are here today. The president and I made a promise that our administration will do everything we can to build a better future for all, that we will build stronger communities, a more skilled and productive workforce, and a more prosperous nation.
For white folk. Because what you're hearing is a bunch of stuff that does not have anything to do with the black contractor section and sector, because they can't get unionized. So they did all of the work. It's already laid out. So these black workers, this contract is essentially excluding black contractors from getting these big dollar contracts and getting work on them, even as a subcontractor. So what they're going to do, and Joe Biden is kind of trying to make it seem like, well, we're only going to use American parts. This is all about American white wealth. Let me get to this other sister, because they're about to throw this sister in your face real quick. Yeah, let me show you this sister here. So they're going to throw this chick at you real quick. I'm an apprentice, so I pretty much work for free, and so I'm getting a chance to stand up here with the president and vice president. Woohoo! I won. We have a down ballot voter in the. We have a down ballot voter on the stage.
Thank you, everybody. First, I want to say good evening, everybody. My name is Cornita Jordan, and I'm proud to be a fourth-year union apprentice at Local 5 Ironworkers. I'm a first-generation ironworker in my family. My mother is a nurse at the University of Maryland Capital Regional Medical Center here in Largo, Maryland. And my father is a union boiler maker. When I started construction, my employer didn't take me seriously because I was a young woman and stuck me in a truck all day. Luckily, an iron worker saw me looking miserable and recommended I apply to this apprenticeship. I did. And before I knew it, I was at the National Iron Worker Pre-Apprenticeship Program for Women in California. Our labor and management partnership paid the travel, accommodations, food costs for all women across the country to help jumpstart our career in the trades. After 3 years of intensive training, I came home and started my apprenticeship in Local 5.
She's still an apprentice. So they couldn't get a person who has tenure because they have a new program that's finally letting women in. See, they knew what they were doing when they started with the gender divide push from the NAACP and the White House and the King Foundation. They knew exactly what they were doing. So they're finna sit up here and give all of this money to these white contractors for this infrastructure. This is a backdoor way of making sure the white contractors still get covered from the infrastructure bill. So cutting out the immigration part of it is from what I can see. And this, so you make it specific to these groups. This is why he got this black woman up here. She's a damn apprentice. Is she even getting paid right now? She's probably getting paid like apprentice scale, but she's not a tenured full union worker. She's still making her name. She's still putting her hours in. She hasn't accomplished nothing yet other than making it into the program. Commendable, yes, I get it. But y'all understand, there's hours and time to go into being a journeyman and your tenure in these different fields. And then there's also a pay scale to go with that. Don't give me nobody that's working under somebody else for the lowest scale possible. And then tell us that it's a win. Yeah, it's a win for all of these white people. So here's another part that you can look at. For the employer who says, okay, well, the future of immigrant workers might not look the same as far as the pay scale goes because we're going to have to start changing that. Because remember, I don't know if this happened where y'all from, but when they raised the minimum wage mandatory here, you know how you can go to McDonald's, there's nothing but Mexicans in the kitchen? You go to McDonald's now, it's nothing but white folk.
They done ran all the Mexicans up out them fast food jobs here. You go in there, it's all white. It was like, oh, they raising the pay and flipping burgers? Shit, I'm finna go get it. See ya. All right, Maria. It's been nice, but I have a relative that might need this job. So, coincidentally, all the Mexicans just were subsequently gone. You go by McDonald's, you go by a Burger King, you go by any type of restaurant that had been known for having Mexicans in the kitchen. Go in there, and because we were looking at that, we were noticing, like, okay, well, let's just see if this is a thing. Yeah, it was real. As soon as they raised their well, I was like, yeah, watch. And because this is what I know the people in my neighborhood, put it to you like that. So I figured as soon as they're going to raise this minimum wage, they're going to kick all these Mexicans out, and it's going to be nothing but white kids off of them jobs. Family, some of these kids, they got them working at grocery stores. They can't even open a bag in a timely fashion, some of these kids. And they got these kids at cash registers. Let alone wait for them to do a double bag. Ooh, painful.
Construction is a career that allows you to self-express. You don't have to hold back your personality. And I love the honest, respectful relationship I have with my crew. I also love the feeling of the achievements. I can walk to the new terminal Ronald Reagan National Airport and say, I built it.
Okay, another thing, anybody who's ever done this or know anybody that's worked in that, I've known people who own their own construction. They'll tell you how racist it is. You just got to have thick skin. Some people ain't this culture. Miss me. No, that's just a racist piece of shit that you decided to hire and make a friend.
I can point to the shimmering glass windows at DC Wolf and say, I put those in. Private sector developers and contractors use project labor agreements because they want their projects built right by skilled workers and apprentices just like me. That's the goal of the executive order that the president will sign here today, to make sure the federal construction projects are completed safely, on time, and under budget. I know companies like Google, Microsoft, Toyota, and others use PLAs for their construction projects, and now the federal government will do the same. Project labor agreement also have a great record for diversity.
This is shameful.
Helping bring in people like me who've been historically pushed out from the construction industry. This order will help all countries build back better with opportunities for all Americans of every race and gender.
Cue the knee pads. Oh, boy. And see, okay, first off, is there anybody in this chat that literally believes she wrote that? So they get her up here, pull her out of somewhere, and it's like, hey, you want to go meet the president? Here, read this script. Matter of fact, we're going to have you come on stage. Come stand with me. That's right. All right. Good job. Okay. So we're going to have you stand right here, and you're going to make me look good. Okay. So here's the script. Go up there and read this. You can read, right? Okay. Good. You can read, good. So get up there and read the script for me, and then just make us look good. And, if you don't, then, it might be trouble for you, and you probably get fired and never work again. But you got to make sure that I look good. I mean, do a good job.
family, we can't trust none of these people. Let's just keep it a buck. We cannot trust any of these people anymore. And when you got celebrities wearing cake soap, I think you understand we are at the end. Good old dark-skinned Serena Williams and doing the King Richard, and she can't even be a queen wearing her complexion. Now, there's something deeper going on here. And then you got Michael Eric, all that don't like the dark-skinned women and the dark-skinned women and sweet as the berry, the dark as the... Yeah, shut up. Weirdo. We got all this other stuff going on. Ain't none of them said nothing about nothing. But, so, let's go back to this. Let's go back. Let me pull this back up on the screen. Old Ninja training. For real. So peep this out, though. Because this is really important. You know, yesterday, POTUS announced new actions to build on his comprehensive strategy to reduce gun violence and participated in meetings with New York City's Gun Violence Strategic Partnership, as well as community violence intervention leaders. What did I tell you earlier, family, about these so-called gang intervention people and some of these so-called violence? And like a lot of these people are just old snitches. You want to know how people are old snitches? Because an OG that really don't give a damn and about nothing else is not going to be up in front of the president in some tight-ass jeans and some Timbs. Like this dude right here in the middle, loud as hell, standing out with them tight-ass pants on. Now, he know he too damn old to be having them pants on, but he going to put them on anyway. Because, hey, he's still young. Now, these two brothers over here, they stand at solid pat on post. But, yeah, this, now I can't thoroughly say, I just know the vibe of what I see of a person that would come to an interaction, a meeting like this. Man, you know, okay, her nails are done. She looks pretty regular. You know, she's well put together, but not over the top. Where's this dude going? He look like he finna go like be an extra in an LL Cool J video in 1994. I mean, minus the tight ass jeans. You too old for that, bro. Take them off. You way too old for that. Guess you done having kids, ain't you, fella? Jesus. And y'all already seen that. Here's another little part. I want y'all to catch this because some people may have a little issue with y'all just over here, this and that and this and that, and supporting 60 women that came and said something about the man. Now that, look, like I said, from what I know about these people in their system, the powers that be, man, yeah, buddy, they send 60 women at you to go take you down. You better believe it. So check this out. This is some old footage from like the Cosby case, which this is crazy. They really were going out of their way to get Cosby, and they were going so extra hard to get Cosby, man. It's like, man, it's shocking that this was even allowed to ever be in front of a court. Because, I mean, it makes no sense.
Before we get much deeper into this, why did you need this evidence? You had you had the complainant who was capable of testifying, who did testify, and the question in this case was, who is the jury going to believe? The complainant who did testify, or the defendant, who had a different version of what occurred here? Why did you need prior bad acts evidence at all?
Your Honor, it was needed for several reasons. Number one, it was needed to corroborate the victim's testimony that she did not consent. In order, noting that if the evidence in that case was excluded, the Commonwealth would have to rely solely on the uncorroborated testimony of the victim to counter the defense consent of consent. Now, in Commonwealth versus Lucktish, that was a Superior Court case. The court allowed in 19-year-old sex assaults, and they were sex assaults going from 19 to 14 years before the current assault. And in that case, the court also let in another sexual assault, eight years before that. And Commonwealth.
Counsel, I apologize. I understand the case. Well, I understand. I guess the question or concern that I have in Pennsylvania jurisprudence, what you're advocating is that 3 decades of an alleged prior bad act is admissible in a trial because there's no ceiling as to the staleness or remoteness. Yet we have to balance that against our own rule of 609 of evidence, in which the use of a conviction is considered stale in the impeachment of a witness, unless there's the other argument, unless it's more probative. So how is it that we are to digest the use of an alleged act is admissible 14 to 37 years later, yet we don't look as a trial lawyer and as a trial.
Well, I cannot disagree. You did? That's crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. What I need here. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. I be giving messages while I'm live, so I'm trying to make sure I don't miss nothing while I am here. Let's take a look at this. Okay. All right. Okay. So, you said bro Kenny Rogers presiding over this case. You know, yeah, but I'm glad that he kind of came in and chimed in, because it's like when you start hearing what they were doing, look at what they were actually making their case out of. So that means they really needed the media to help overhype the Bill Cosby thing, because clearly, if it took for you to do all of this to get the dude, you had a extra shabby case. So they really basically, and now that it's all coming out and playing out in the wash, y'all really did try Bill Cosby in the court of public opinion. Zero fact. He didn't have no facts on that man. So yeah, it's definitely the court of public opinion is how they were doing Bill Cosby. Now, this is one of the main reasons why we need the Dr. Martin Luther King Reparations Act. We don't need to lift every voice and sing as a national anthem, a national hymn. What does a national hymn mean to a godless country? These people ain't got no morals. They definitely don't give a damn about the Most High. I mean, because shoot, if you want to know what the Most High feel about this place right now, just like Jeremiah
First was the controversial Reverend Jeremiah Wright.
I say America, America's mother, America's daddy, America can eat a dick, America can lick the balls.
I mean, you think that the Lord don't know that everybody here is only about
money?
I mean, I don't know what you think you're going to do. You're not hiding it. And then, but then people can tell you things right in your face.
Let's really be clear about that.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Lord, Lord, Lord. And I hear some of y'all that say, he said, I needed that for the circle. Well, you know, we tend to do jokes over here, and you know, we can never forget.
No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. 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 No medicine.
And if you are new to this program and new to this broadcast, well, this is the weekly wrap up. And, you know, we tend to have fun over here. You know what I'm saying? We have our chuckles, don't we, family? You know, let the chuckles fly in the chat, family.
I remember your laugh when I was at my worst. Let me tell you, piece of scum, I'm supported from above. Your man in my DMs while you're talking shit behind my back. All the shit you said made you look like a little bitch that had your opinion, bitch, fuck that. What do I think of you? How I love in your face, bitch, if you only knew. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Party till I die, with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make her work. Shake that money maker in my face. It's a favor. Ooh, I love your misbehavior. Party till I die, with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make her work. Shake that money maker in my face.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. And again, it's been a while. But one of our faithful sponsors of this broadcast is, you know, see, you got to remember, one of the things that makes the world go round is the will of caring. So another long sponsor of this broadcast and of this movement, White Women Tea.
Are you sick and tired of not getting your way whenever you want? Do people have the nerve to treat you like a normal member of society? Have you been accused of saying something racist and don't know how to shift focus? Introducing Entitled White Women's Tears, the revolutionary new solution that'll keep you looking your victimist.
I used to listen to women of colour speak in general terms about how racism affects them and amend my behaviour accordingly. I apologise for anything that I've done that was ignorant, and I'll be more mindful from now on. Thanks to Entitled White Women's Tears, I'm now perfectly comfortable explaining to them how they should be approaching their own activism and taking it as a personal attack when they call me out. Seriously, maybe you'd have more people on your side if you weren't so mean.
Did you just make Cindy cry?
But how is it about her? It's about me.
On the best side. Here we go.
I used to exhibit socially acceptable behaviour. Thanks to White Women's Tears, I now see my time as more valuable than everyone else's. So I cut in line and abuse service staff whenever I want, even when I've made the mistake. I'm calling the police. You have lost me as a customer.
Entitled White Women's Tears includes some of our most advanced privileged properties, combined with our best princess syndrome, so you can weaponize your crying wherever you want, whenever you want. Our specially formulated entitled white women's tears isn't sourced from nasty places like grief, oppression, pain, or righteous anger. Rest assured, we bottle our entitled white women's tears at the purest source. Fear of a power dynamic that has rendered you prone to legitimate criticism. Order your entitled white women's tears now and receive a free sample of our entitled line for men. I deserve this for some reason. The only drink that promotes a belief in your inherent right to power. Entitled White Women's Tears. It's victimhood Viagra by women for women. Don't let someone make you accountable for your bad behavior ever again.
Oh, boy, boy, boy. Boy, oh, boy. Good grief. So again, what did we learn today? We learned that I ain't got a baby. Lord. Hopefully this thing be set here. Okay, let's see where we at. Where we at? Because I think buy a bottle of white woman tears. That's a cold deal. You know, but how much has it worked in the destruction of our families and livelihood? And now, people like Carolyn Bryant are still alive, but they're trying to ban CRT. So within the time frame of all of this transpiring within these lifespans, they are looking to void themselves of their own history in this country to which they've actually committed all these egregious crimes against us. And then you get these people in here to act like, oh, well, we're going to stand in for gang violence. You know, because first off, it's gun violence in New York. Why are there only black people here? You don't see nobody else? It's all black folks off up in here representing gun violence. What a coincidence. Why do you think that is? Well, it's because it's like in my neighborhood or in my city, they're making black folks the face of gun violence. Indiscriminate face of gun violence. No question. It's all, when they talk about gun violence, that just means black people. Once again, black Biden voter. This is the value of your vote for Biden. And this is what this has become for your people. And now you are in denial, absolute denial that, oh, this is what I did. Oh, and then you want to run away from your disaster. Well, we need you to take ownership for this type of disaster because we were telling you straight up, we cannot trust no Joe Biden, no Kamala Harris. She ain't black. And y'all want to sit up here and keep, well, she is black. And y'all just hating on this and hating on that. Okay, here's my problem with weak, sorry weasels like that. You're dead ass wrong now. But something tells me you're going to wait and hide out until it's time to come out and start talking shit again.
in the political space to which you have no feet in, and then telling us about who we need to vote for and how stupid somebody is because they're not voting. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've already said it. You can see how Judas Outlaw can get it. I'm gonna go 3-4 times as hard as every last one of you that hop out there and put your little neck out there like you want to smoke. Yeah, if you ain't about black business, black first, shut up talking to me. You come on my shit trying to discourage other people from whatever I'm talking about, your ass will be on the Summer Jam screen. And you will be in that dumpster, in that trash can with your vote. Because we getting weak weasels out of the paint. Cowardly lions that want to come over here and say, well, we should have parts and we should have something to say. Earn it. Earn that. Because all y'all do when it's time to start checking these suspected white supremacists, all of a sudden, oh man, I don't really know about no racism now. I mean, shoot, brother. Man, you know, I mean, come on now. I'm not so sure. Racism? You know, I mean, come on now. These people ain't so bad now. So, I mean, what you want me to say to them? I mean, if I say something, I might lose my job. I mean, come on now. I mean, then my wife won't want to make love to me, man. And, you know, when my girlfriend look like this, I mean, I got to have me some. You know what I'm saying? Woo-wee, what a winner. Woo. Oh, Lord, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, the dilemma. Woe is me. Woe is me. Woe is me. Maybe I'll sock dance real quick. Break it down on you. Sock dance. Gotta get that sock dance on you. Oh, boy, boy, boy. Yeah, buddy. Woo-wee. Yeah. I be looking at some of the spaces sometimes. And I be looking at people who's off up in the space. I'm like, oh, wow. Well, you know, this could be something, but I see some people here that, well, maybe I'll just pass up on this space. Because, you know, I don't think that's for me. You know, when some people's co-hosting and stuff, yeah. And then you co-hosting with people who when everybody looks at their videos, they look like this dude on the screen right now. Like, I'm confused. I'm confused with what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing a bunch of sock dancing, and I'm not sure what's going on. Break it down on yeah, buddy. Yep, still confused though. Still confused at what I'm saying. I wonder what can help me understand. Who can help me understand?
Then your light shall spring forth. Then you shall call, and the Lord shall answer. Then you shall cry, and the Lord shall say, here I go, here I go. No, y'all niggas that damn, here I go. No, y'all niggas that damn, here I go. Man right here. The man right here. Here I go. Y'all motherfuckers better get ready to rumble. Slices on the bump. Fasten the lightning humble. Slice on the bump. Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready. Nope, I know. Birds are few. You bitches probably can see me with the bird's eye view. Ooh, visualize to the light. Stop walking the one way to a fucking dead end. But you
Yeah. See, I see those videos. I'm not really certain exactly what it is I'm looking at. Am I being edified here? I'm not so certain. I'm seeing sock dancing. Sock dancing makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sock dancer. How many sock dancers can I say I remember? Fred Astaire? No, Fred Astaire was not a sock dancer. Sammy Davis Jr.? No. No. Archie Bunker? No. Gregory Hines? No. Flip Wilson? Oh, maybe. Geraldine? Maybe it was Martin. I'm just so confused. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. You know what? Maybe I'll just channel my mind in a different direction. You know, because I'm so confused. Maybe I should go to the kitchen.
No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. 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 No medicine.
He said, pulpit pimp, simp, deuce, bigelow, yellow, gigolo. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Like I said, boy, be confused. Like, what's going on? So, once again, we have to get back into focusing in our energies on getting our reparations. We're going to lift every voice and sing reparations because we need our bread and we are coming to get our check. We are not falling for symbolic victories when you say, well, we're going to get the first black judge off up in here and then she will refuse to answer the questions that are asked to her about racism because, you know, she just doesn't have anything to say. Man, we need to revisit that real quick. Where's that at? There we go. Is there be no miracles, no mail days? And always, never forget this. Remember this little tidbit out of Selling the Negro. And here's another thing about CRT. This is why they're like, oh, it'll deal with the psyche. This thinking goes way back. So it applies even here to what they're about. What you're about to hear them say is the same energy behind CRT today.
The children into it any more than we have to. We're doing it for the children, but I don't feel that they are old enough to understand the problem as it is.
Do you think a Negro family moving here will affect the community as a whole?
Definitely.
In what way?
I think that, well, the property values will immediately go down if they are allowed to move in here in any number.
And what of the dream of middle-class respectability? If a Negro family can afford what you can afford, how do you justify your feeling of superiority? What other objections, aside from the effect on property values, do you have against the mayor?
He's got 3 children, and evidently he feels that they will be accepted socially. And
so there's 2 things that's going on that's steady in their minds from then to now. Us economically being equal, and they have to compete with us on equal playing field, which for them is unequal as they feel it. And then the next is sexual access. They were afraid of annihilation by way of genitals. So you could be bred out. Does that sound too much different than what you're hearing now? And since we're in Black History Month, we are about 4 days into the month. Has anyone heard anything about mandates? How much have you heard about go get jabbed and venomized? Has that talk died down over the past few days in your neck of the woods? Now, I'm sure you're probably hearing about, well, we have pandemic numbers of this and pandemic numbers of that, but are you still getting the same aggressive push for venomization that you were, say, before 4 days ago? Anybody paying attention? You notice things dropping off a little bit? Because they sure are here. You know, oh, well, we have this, but the whole urgency of we got to hurry up and no, that's just funny. I just noticed over the past few days how, like, you know how you notice you're not hearing the same thing anymore? It's automatically, oh, like, you know how commercials schedules turn over on the first of the month? So you start seeing new commercials that you weren't seeing last month, and some of the commercials that you were seeing every day last month don't come on now. Just take notice, because you probably haven't been paying attention. Just watch our local news and just see how much they are pushing venomization versus just telling you about the current infection numbers or rates. Oh, I don't have cable TV. I ain't had cable in years. Cable TV? What would I do with cable TV? Everything I pay for, which somebody said I got rid of cable to pay for all of my streaming services and pay the same amount. I don't think so. Plus the quality is better. And I like the freedom of watching things at my leisure and not having to be stuck with a time and what they want to put into the thing. So I enjoy it. You know, I don't have. I'm not a Netflix person. I'm more of an Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus type of person. So most of the stuff I'm watching is there. You got to have the old black shows for me to even fool with you. So I got Stars. You know, I got my Jeffersons and Different Strokes, and you know. They had in the HBO Max, they got Different World. Something that I would like for those old black shows to do is do like how they do in the DVDs, and that's give commentary about the different episodes. I think Bill Cosby should probably do that. Bill Cosby should go back and reissue the Cosby shows, but do it with like how you get on DVDs where they have the commentary the way so you can watch the movie regular, or you can watch the movie with the commentary through the whole joint. They should do the episodes like that. That would be dope. That would be real dope. So just a thought of putting it in the wind. Putting it in the wind. So before we get out of here one more time, just going to remind you again on what Joe Biden's candidates and potential candidates look like for judge. And, you know, judge for yourself this is what you really want to do.
My chairman's very strict on me, and I do want to get to ask the judge one question in my 35 seconds. And I'm sorry to interrupt you. Judge, you've been on the bench, and you've seen the federal judicial system up close, and I agree with you. America's a remarkable country. Do you think the federal judicial system is systemically racist?
Senator, thank you for that question. I am aware of social science research.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm aware of social science research,
Yes, ma'am.
in particular in my former area of expertise, which is in sentencing, that relates to ways in which policy choices about various aspects of the system can have demographic disparate effects. The most obvious one is one that this body has worked on very hard and much appreciated, the 100-to-1 crack powder disparity. As a judge, I'm not looking at systemic effects. I'm not thinking about or focusing on or forming opinions about the research or the circumstances in the abstract like that. I am looking at each case. A person might make a claim that they've been discriminated against in a particular context, and I am applying the law to determine whether or not the law sustains that claim. So I don't really have a frame of reference to answer a question about systemic racism, but I am happy that you are thinking about those things because they're in the province of the policymakers like yourself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Judah Queen. What a waste of melanin, for real though. I mean, it's shameful. It's shameful. Like, frame of reference for systematic. We all grew up in school having to read To Kill a Mockingbird. You have a frame of reference for racism systematically in the legal system. Absolutely you do. We all grew up doing it because it was mandatory reading in school here. So unless she didn't go to high school in the States, I guess. But if you went to, as far, I mean, you're talking about, what is this, under like Gerald Ford? You going back to the 70s since people was reading this damn book, this mandatory reading. That and Shakespeare. Now you got your choice in Shakespeare, whichever it takes. So of course, we always went with Othello. But yeah, answer the question, lady. For real though. And that's why when Michael Eric Dyson did the whole spiel, that's why I had to hit him with that. I'm like, well, yo, because it just so happens, like right before I did it, I was like watching that shit. So I'm waiting for it to wrap up so I could get my hands on it. And so as soon as I got my hands on it, I seen that. I was like, oh, well, here, let me just post this right here. Here you go. So yes, that y'all have seen with that video that I initially posted in the thread on Michael Eric Dyson while he was saying how, you know, it was just all about us not really feeling dark-skinned women and some stupid shit like that. But, you know, as y'all know, I have a darker brown-skinned wife. Many of these sisters over in these spaces are brown. Matter of fact, as far as New Black Media, the women in New Black Media go, majority are brown to dark. You know, not saying there ain't no light skin, there are, you know, but for the, I think all intents and purposes, it's pretty caramel to brown over here. So, you know, and it's funny too. Also here, watch these people talking about. Yeah, Tariq got a white mother-in-law. First off, any dude saying that would have to first tell me if that man's wife wasn't single and she was in front of you that you wouldn't be popping. Because I'm pretty sure that y'all all watched Big John's The Lesbian Homie. So Big E and Tariq's wife around the same complexion. Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to shut y'all little bitch asses up. Because y'all know good and damn well y'all full of shit. You just found a reason to hate on somebody over something you couldn't get. Boy, I tell you, there's so much hatred out here and envy over what another man can do. Get your mouthpiece together, player. I mean, I done had homely partners that I went to school with knock them.
But confidence is important. And when you're moving around with insecurities and have to look in the mirror and scream on yourself for confidence, you'll probably end up running into a wreck sooner or later. So with that being said, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Family, with that being said, you have once again been in tune to the Beatzilla PDX official show. This is the weekly wrap up, and we are going to have our little weekly wrap up right on out real quick, and then we will finish up and head on out. So, shout out to Chris Scholler, rest in peace and rest in power, MF Doom, and shout out to this other brother on the beats.
Tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
Yes, indeedy. So, you can follow me on Instagram at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Twitter, beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Facebook at beatzillapdx and on Melanated People at Michael Beatzilla Whitman. Of course, I got a Patreon. I need to get more busy with that, but that is also Beatzilla PDX official. Now, if you want to email me, you can definitely do so at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And then, of course, if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you can do so at CashApp, $ Beatzilla PDX. That is CashApp, $ Beatzilla PDX. If you don't have Cash App, you can go to PayPal at Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK. And that's at PayPal. So, peace, power, blessings, and protection be up unto all of you under my voice right now. And, may y'all have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Stay away from troubled individuals, troubled souls if you can. You can help when you can, but know when you can't. You feel me? You could have want to, but you got to know when you can. Sometimes you got to say, you did? I think that is probably the biggest piece of advice. I don't know who that's meant for, but boy, oh boy, when it comes to you, you'll know. So with that being said, family, for the rest of y'all have a blessed weekend. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. See, that's what you throw.
Right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.
you.